Hello, everybody. How are you? Thank you for joining us today on the Transatlantic Call-In Show. As always, this is the opportunity for you to call real-life trans people and talk about any of trans issues that may be on your mind or anything else you want to talk about. We're always happy to be able to chat. Today, we are here. I'm Josie Caballero, and we're here with Dr. Ben. How are you, Dr. Ben?
Hey, doing all right. I got a little bit of a cold today, so don't mind this any weird sounds my voice is making today. We're doing our best. We're here. But get your calls in, people. We want to talk to you. We are actual trans people. Tell us why we shouldn't be allowed in sports. I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready. We're ready to have the conversations. But yeah, it's been a pretty great week. Other than the fact that I was like running around. Like yesterday, I had to be at 4 places at once yesterday, and yes, I could do it via phones and driving commute times. I was like chairing meetings while I was like driving to one location to the other, and it was like one was work. One was helping a friend with the fundraiser. Another was for my campaign. And then another one was for being the president of the Transgender American Veteran Association. And then I went and I lay down and then started running a fever. So I feel real bad if I got people sick yesterday. I was definitely, I don't know if you're familiar with the show Parks and Recs, but I felt
Hmm.
like it was one of those Leslie Knope moments where she's like, "I'm sick, but I'm still gonna go and give that speech," and then like immediately gives it, and then just like falls over. Like that's exactly how I was
Yeah,
yesterday. So it is. The world's on fire, so we just got to do what we can. Just do what we can. Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So we can go ahead and get started with last week's poll. Let's just get started with some of that stuff and then we'll go over some other things. So, the last week's poll, should you have to provide an ID in order to access online content discussing LGBTQ plus lives and politics? So, 2%. 2%. If you're part of that 2%, call in. Like, seriously. Like, I really want to know what your reasoning is. What are your thoughts?
Right. Yeah, no, you should not have to provide an ID to access LGBTQ plus content. You shouldn't have to provide an ID for most things on the internet. Uh, it's and the fact that, of course, this is related to LGBTQ plus people being compared to adult content as the whole thing of like drag queens are groomers and all of that nonsense. And the fact is, like, if you have to be, if you have to prove with a government ID that you are 18 plus in order to like see a gay person online, like uh that is absolutely, I'm trying to think of the right word for this, but it's terrible. Like it is discriminatory. It's definitely a way for them to try to eliminate, especially trans people, from the public eye. Because if you say that like being trans is adult content, that's a way to censor every aspect of trans lives. So this is pretty despicable, and this should not at all be a thing. The 2% that said yes, like, and I think we read the comments beforehand about what this was, and people, I'd like do a little bit more thinking before making these kind of comments,
What are you saying, Dr. Ben? Getting rid of bots is not more important than policing everybody's web traffic?
right?
That's what some people's arguments were, and that's the thing as well is like this is always a pretext to something even more nefarious, right? Like, yes, the
Yeah.
criminalization of queer bodies is biggest issue, but also the fact that they want to be able to track your web content. They want to be able to track where you're visiting, what you're looking at, so they can have more understanding of who to look out for. Like the government is getting so big that they are literally wanting to micro look at everything that you are doing, and it is so bonkers and so scary that this is where people are actually thinking, well, maybe we should just track everybody's IDs, and it's just like, oh my god,
No.
please, please, no, no, no. Great. So this week's poll is: should gender affirming care be guaranteed healthcare benefits for federal employees? So we will get back to that question. And while make sure you vote, it's going to be in the chat. So we'll get back to that question here in a moment. Please also do not forget to like and subscribe. It's very, very important for you to do that because we're becoming an institution. Like, you see that we're almost at 200,000 subscribers here on the line. It's incredible. It's so exciting to see how much we've grown. It is exciting time. Also, make sure you join our Patreon because there is so much exclusive content that you can be privy to. In fact, last week or last Saturday, we actually had our very first LineCon online for our $15 a month subscribers, where we had exclusive content. And if you pay $5, you can also go and see that content on live on demand as well. So we are growing. We have more content, and I'm hoping to join on one of those LineCon conversations as well. I think that'd be a
Yep.
lot of fun. And lastly, if you want us to read your super chats at the end of the show, make sure you either do hashtag Team Ben or hashtag Team Josie, and we will be doing a punishment at the end of the show where we have to defend a position that is a little bit silly. So make sure you get your votes in for that as well. So great. Are we ready for our first caller?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. We are going to be talking to Brian, him from Georgia. Hello, Brian. You're live on the line. How are you, and what would you like to talk about?
Well, hey, Josie. Hey, Dr. Ben. I don't care too much about sports, so I'm not going to try to throw that thing over your way. But I just wanted to say I spent some time this year in the hospital, and this was one of the shows that I gravitated to during there, just because I like to learn new things and correct my own views. And I really just want to say thank you for being so informative and educational about it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate it.
much. And I'm glad that you are. I'm glad in nobody likes staying in the hospital, but I'm glad that we were able to keep you sane during those times. I know last year I spent like a whole week in the hospital because of an infection. That was not good. I swear it was a pretty tough time. But yeah, so I'm glad that you are a viewer. Is there anything as far as the content and everything that really gravitates you to the show?
Um, I, I think one of the biggest things that brought me towards it was I didn't know enough about the topics, and I was kind of ignorant when I first started listening. And I've had a lot of my worldviews just like corrected by it. Either you or Dr. Ben or somebody would say something, and like, is that really true? I'd go look it up, and sure enough, you guys are always right. So I have
Yeah.
nothing to say apart from, hey, I didn't realize how bigoted I was, and I'm glad to be corrected by it.
And that's a
Wow.
perspective
Thank you.
that that's a perspective that we love to see. And it's definitely why the show exists. Because I mean, there's so much that we all don't know ahead of time, and you don't know until you learn something. Um, but I hope that other callers maybe are listening to that and can get in the right mindset um, as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I remember because like for me, it was shows like this actually as well when I was back in college that kind of helped me also kind of break out of like the groupthink mindset because I was originally born and raised in the state of Texas. And it was one of those situations where it was like having to see the other perspective, actually hearing other logical arguments being made can be the thing that kind of snaps you out of it and be like, wow, I need to be a lot more critical on how I think. And it kind of just leads you down the rabbit hole of like, okay, what else do I need to figure out is true or not? And just being able to verify those claims is it's so gratifying once you're able to kind of like break away from like the groupthink mindset or like the traditional way of like, oh, this is what it is. Well, have you looked up why? Is really helpful. It's the critical thinking at its best. is when you can critically analyze your own thoughts and why you think the way that you do. That's the superpower. That's the secret weapon right there.
I would definitely agree with that. That train of, well, why do I think that? And I get to that answer, but why do I think that? And I get to that answer, just keep going down that hole until eventually either you support or tear
I
down
think
whatever
I
the
think you
problem
sound a
is.
little bit like a robot, Brian. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Say that all over again.
I was saying going down the rabbit hole of why was a really great exercise of why do I believe this? Get to that answer. Why do I believe that? Get to that answer. And at the end of it, it's either going to, tear down what you thought that was wrong or reinforce something that was right. Either way, it's a great process.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. So while you have us on, Brian, is there anything that you wanted to discuss that you may want more information on?
I don't think I have anything in particular. This was really just calling to say thank you.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate the call. It's always nice to get these calls. It's a good way to start the show
All right.
as well.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it.
Well, thank you, Brian. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brian. And I hope you're in good health now. And yeah, we're happy that you're part of the community and keep on listening in.
Will do. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Great. Well, that was nice. That's a
Yeah.
nice little beginning to the show there. Um, Yeah, I remember I was also when I was, in the hospital last year, I was also bugging people that were on the show of like, "Hey, what are y'all guys doing?" So it was a good time. It is a good way to get things to go by. Great. So let's go ahead and take our next caller. And right before we do, make sure that we have lines that are wide open. So make sure you take the time to call in either 720-619-2288, or you can use the web link in the description as well to call in, and we're happy to take your calls. And if they are a little bit spicy, we'll always prioritize those calls as well. So
Yep.
great. So we will go ahead and take Andrew, him from New Jersey. Hello, Andrew. Thank you for calling in on the line. How are you? And what would you like to talk about?
Hello, yeah. How y'all doing? I'm here to talk about trans rights.
Great.
Like,
And
mhm.
go for it. Go ahead.
Can you tell me what you mean by trans rights?
Sure. Yeah. So trans rights, meaning that people who are trans deserve the equal rights to all other people in society. So people deserve access to public spaces. They deserve access to medical care. They deserve access to just the trappings of getting a house and all of that type of stuff. So that's what we mean by trans rights. We want to make sure that everybody has equal rights.
And they don't have that already, or what is it like a
Nope.
law that says you can't? What's the legislation called
Nope.
that
We
says
don't.
that
We don't. Well, so certain
Yeah,
things
I
like
mean,
one in particular is that trans people aren't allowed to use bathrooms in several states now. So using the bathroom is a pretty important right that it'd be nice if trans people could do. Trans people also don't have access to the same healthcare that cisgender people do. For example, similar procedures such as breast augmentation or top surgery is you're allowed to get it, and it's under insurance coverage in some cases for cisgender people, but not for transgender people. So things that are done equally for people who are not trans are still not accessible for people who are trans. And with that too, there aren't really protections for someone saying that they don't want to hire trans people or they don't want to give a house to a trans person. So there are things that are important to have when you live in society that are not guaranteed to trans people in the same way that they would be to people who are not trans.
but okay, so like if a person didn't want to hire a trans person, is it like immoral? Like should you be like forced to hire a trans person? Like if you
It's
don't
not the
hire them, then
idea
you
It's not the idea that you're forced to hire somebody, it's the fact that you should give them the equal opportunity to get the job, right? So if you were to have, 5 applicants and they're all equal, right? You wouldn't say, "Oh, I don't want a trans person on my staff, so therefore I'm gonna kick them out for the fact of them being trans." That's discrimination, right? And so it's a very real thing. Just in the state of Texas today, they just passed a law to actually ban trans people from the bathrooms. So that is why trans rights is being talked about a lot, because of the fact that our rights are being taken away from us almost on a daily basis in this country.
like okay, like when it comes to the trans bathroom, I guess it's because like you have certain trans women that look like biological women, but then you have certain trans women that look kind of odd. Like you'll see, like it's a dude in a dress. Like it's like some of
So
them
Well,
they
Andrew,
don't look
it's
so
not.
feminine.
Andrew, do you know about a condition called PCOS?
Yeah,
So you know that people with PCOS they're women, and they were assigned female at birth, and then they grow up and they have a higher level of testosterone because of their ovarian condition. So a lot of them can have high amounts of facial hair. They can have more masculine features. So do you think that someone's use of the bathroom should be based on how feminine they look, knowing that there are some people who are women who don't look like other women just based on their own personal biology?
um, I I I guess like, but some of like even with women with PCOS, most of them still look like women. Like I know
How do
some
you
women that have
Yeah, but
how do you
PCOS.
say that on a general scale? Like, aren't these individual on an individual basis? Not all these people look exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
So some of them
Well,
are going to
well,
look more feminine and some of them are going to look more masculine. But should that matter in deciding what bathroom somebody gets to use? Like, what metric do we use? Who decides the rules for who gets to use what bathroom? Are you saying, Andrew, that you get to say if someone's too masculine for the bathroom, or does Trump get to decide who's too masculine for the bathroom? Who sets that scale of who is too masculine for the bathroom?
well, I guess you have a point. I guess that's why they do it as the biological sex that you're born with. Like for example, like if I can ask you, what is a woman?
Well, Andrew, but
so
hold on
okay,
with the
wait,
bathroom
go
before,
ahead.
like on the bathroom topic still, if you're going to say that it's based on your sex that you're born as, how should we enforce that with the bathroom? Do you think people should have to have their genitals inspected before using the bathroom? Is that what you're advocating for?
No, I mean, well, I don't know. No,
And
well,
how do
you can't enforce it.
then how then how do you enforce using the bathroom based on your biological sex? How do you think we should go about making sure people are using the correct bathroom?
Well, you with that kind of situation, you literally can't enforce it. Like just like you can't enforce like we have laws on the books against incest. Nobody can enforce it, but you just hope that
You can
people don't do it.
absolutely enforce that.
You can
You
enforce
can
it. So
absolutely.
then
Yeah.
so that if we're not going to enforce any of that, what's the point in making these bathroom rules then? Why can't people just use the bathroom that they're going to use? Like, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, they're just going in, doing their business and hopefully washing their hands and leaving. Like, why is that such a problem then?
Well, I mean, I guess if that's the case, then why do we have any uh, gender separate bathrooms at all? Why can't grown men go
We
into the women's
shouldn't.
bathroom and use the bathroom?
You're right.
I don't think we
You're right,
should.
Andrew. Yeah, like
So
there's
you
no
think men
reason to
should?
have like honestly, the gender neutral bathrooms exist in a lot of areas now where it is all just one area and then everybody washes their hands in a general space as well. Like, so we have these situations already as well. And Andrew, if somebody is going to assault a woman by going into the bathroom, do you think that a bathroom sign is going to stop them?
No.
Exactly. So the idea that we have to try to create these laws to prevent trans people from being able to use the bathroom out of fear or whatnot, or how you said because they look different, is not a feasible way that we should be passing laws. In fact, sexual assault is already a crime. So if anybody goes into a bathroom, even if it's another woman on another woman in the bathroom, that is still a crime. So the idea that we're going to try to pass these laws for like trans people in bathrooms is just redundant.
Okay, well, what about sports? Should
So
should women?
again, like, so for sports, I'll give you a very clear answer. Anybody K through 12 should be able to have access to the sports because they're just playing with their friends, right? That's the way it should be. And when we're talking about high elite sports or whatever, the Olympics were letting trans people compete since 2003. I believe that the government should stay out of professional sporting leagues at the top level and not be putting blanket bans on everything. I think when you're dealing with education and you're dealing with like colleges even and K through 12, people should be able to play sports with their friends. That's really what it comes down to. And there seems to be a lot of misinformation out there about sports. In fact, there has been zero trans people who have ever won a scholarship to play in the NCAA. So the fact of the matter is, we're talking about maybe a handful of people, maybe 5 to 6 people nationally that are at the highest level of elite competition that we're even talking about. But when we're talking about kids playing sports with their friends, we should let them play.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, if they want to play with their friends, that's fine. But
Yeah,
when you got a bunch of
that's all we're
people,
asking
yeah.
for.
But I mean, but a lot of in the sports competitions, a lot of them aren't their friends. Like, and I think
What do you
that if
mean
you
a
got a
lot of?
bunch of well, when they compete in like wrestling or any kind of like physical contact sport,
Andrew, have you
like
ever, or do you come from a wrestling background? Have you done wrestling before?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, have you seen the jujitsu community by chance? Like, have you done any
No, I don't
jujitsu
know
or
too
any
much
other
about
grappling
jujitsu.
sports?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
So
too much
which is
about
more
jujitsu.
important? Which is more important in those sports? Size and like skill level and age range, or biological sex? Which do you think is the most important?
Yeah.
I think the no matter how much skill you have, if the person is vastly stronger, like if you got a man that's vastly stronger than you, it
Andrew,
doesn't
think
So
matter
about
what
what
about
how much
what
skill.
happens, Andrew, what happens when someone gains more muscle mass? What happens to their weight?
It
Does their
typically
weight
goes
go
up.
up or does it stay the same? Yeah, so their
exactly?
weight goes up, right? So the thing that is the big difference when you think about women versus men, I think there's a huge desire to compare averages. And that's not reflective of who's actually competing. When we're thinking about people competing, we're thinking about the individual competitor, right? And if you have weight
Yeah,
classes and you have skill divisions, if you have the biggest man against the smallest woman, of course, that's not really going to happen because they're in completely separate weight categories. That big man's probably over 200 pounds, maybe even up to 300 pounds. And you have maybe the smallest woman is going to be somewhere like 100 to 110 pounds. Like, they're not going to be in the same weight category. So if we standardize it
yeah,
based on weight categories, skill categories, age categories, that's going to be more fair in the end than focusing on biological sex, because the factors that people focus on that give whatever advantage usually come down to muscle mass, height, weight, etc., and not really about like what's in their pants, right? That's not the issue. It's what other factors were caused by a testosterone based development or an estrogen based development. But those
yeah,
all
but
change
even
once you
even
change hormone influence too.
yeah, but even men of the same size, like if you got a 130-pound man and a 130-pound woman, the man typically is going to be a lot
Have you watched
stronger,
Andrew?
even with the same.
Andrew, have you watched? I call bullshit because coming from jujitsu, where a lot of people train co-ed and then compete separate, when you're training, like people who are the same weight often train together. And I'm talking about professional jiu-jitsu grapplers, like professional MMA fighters. The people in the gym that they pick to go up against, like on a day-to-day basis, are in their same size category and not the same sex. And in fact, a lot of women and men, like, they will just train together to train together. You need to learn how to compete with different people of different body types, different body sizes, different skills, different different abilities that maybe you haven't thought of facing before. Like, there's different strategy to the game. And something too,
Yeah,
like with wrestling, that's such a highly dynamic sport. You have advantages in women's wrestling that they don't have in men's wrestling. They have agility, they have speed kind of in their favor. If you watch these different groups compete, if you combine them, it's a much more interesting sport to watch, for one, and everybody gets better like more quickly because you have much more exposure to different skill sets and different body types. So this idea that everybody has to be completely evenly matched, for one, is kind of BS. You're never going to get a sport where everybody's completely evenly matched. And two, the factors that you're fixating on, you're saying that somebody who is assigned male, like someone who is born a male, is by default going to have all of these advantages that a cis woman is not. And I think there's a disconnect too with how much training is involved, how much strategy is involved. Do you think that someone that just by being a man, they're going to automatically win against a woman in whatever competition?
No, I don't think that. I know, like, when they're younger, like from kindergarten to like maybe like
No, as an adult, do you think that any adult male? Do you think any adult male is just going to by default win against a woman?
No, like, I don't know, not by default. Like, what I'm saying is like when I was
So what
wrestling and
factors
stuff,
then, Andrew? So what factors then cause somebody to have those to have those skill advantages in sports?
Like I was saying, like when I was wrestling in high school, the girls they stood absolutely no chance. Like when I went up
Andrew,
against like
can I ask you a
two,
question? I want to
yeah,
ask you a question. How much did you weigh? How much did you weigh back then?
Yeah.
Or when you were wrestling?
what, like 145.
What 145. And what is so you're what? Like probably like close to 6 foot? What's
Right
your height?
now, yeah, I'm 6 foot. Right now I'm
Okay.
6 foot 187.
Okay, great. So if you were in a competition against someone, a person that was born a female, and they were actually 6'5", 6'6", and they were 220 pounds, do you think that would be a fair competition to you? You think you're going to be able to beat that
Like
person?
a woman that size or a man?
Yeah, yeah,
A woman that size? Yeah, I think
yeah.
I'll destroy her.
You think you would
Yeah,
destroy
I'll destroy
a
6'5", 200.
6'6"? Okay,
I
like,
don't
and why?
bullshit, Andrew.
And so, Andrew, I want to know
I call
why.
bullshit.
How do you know that? How do you quantify that? How do you
What do you
just
mean?
know that that's the case? So we're talking about a trained, 6'5",
Yeah.
220, female wrestler, whatever you want to say, like, and you're just gonna dominate them. Why? Because they have a vagina?
Pretty much. I mean, like most women are,
Really?
they're not that strong. Huh?
So Andrew, so this goes
Really?
back to so you already said that a man wouldn't win just by default, yet this argument is you saying that a man would win by default.
That
Andrew,
you would win by default.
I know cis women who are probably half your size who would absolutely wreck your shit on the mat.
I guarantee
I
you
know
they
some
won't.
people. Oh,
Andrew,
so these
I mean,
Andrew.
the people I know, Andrew, the people I know are. You think you could beat a several professional black belts in jiu-jitsu that have world titles? Are you
I
saying
don't
that
know
you could do
jiu-jitsu.
that because
I
you're a
know
man?
wrestling. No, I
Well,
don't know
it's okay.
jiu-jitsu.
So
I know
we have a
wrestling.
champion,
Wrestling
world
and
champion
jiu-jitsu are
wrestler.
similar. Yeah. Could you beat
Yeah,
somebody of a super elite level just because you're a man?
in jiu-jitsu, probably not. No.
Okay, we're talking about
In
wrestling.
wrestling.
Let's say it's let's say Andrew,
Because
like
jiu-jitsu
in
and wrestling
wrestling,
go hand in hand. So
yeah, well,
I'm gonna say I
I
don't.
don't know about sports like that. But but what I want to say is, Andrew, think about how silly that sounds. If you were to say all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, I am this man Andrew. I have wrestling experience and now I can beat the elite women wrestlers just because they're women."
I mean, I guess if she's 6'5" and 200+ pounds, I
That,
guess I can't win. So you know, I'll concede on that. You know, I might not win.
okay,
If she's
all right,
200,
Andrew.
six
All
foot
right.
five. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair
you're
enough.
talking about
what about
you've seen.
yeah? What about the skill thing? Not just because of the size. What about the fact that we mentioned her skill level?
Her skill level.
Yeah. Do you think that
Yeah.
you are an elite wrestler? Is that how you would rank yourself?
Not, I'm not elite, but you know, I got like
So if
one
someone was an
championship.
elite wrestler, so if a woman was an elite wrestler,
Pound for
do you think
pound,
you'd
your
lose?
size.
Yeah, you're
A pound for
equal
pound
in
my size.
size. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
elite
don't know.
wrestler.
I don't know if I'll lose. I have no idea.
Well, at least that's rational because the reality is that's what sports are. We don't know who's going to win when somebody enters the ring. Like that's the whole point. That's what makes sports
Okay.
exciting. Like
So
that's
should we
that's
take
why
away
this,
gender for UFC?
I think that we could do things that could match up people's skill levels and weight class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so can Khabib?
you take away gender and you rank them based on ability level, age, and size.
Yeah.
So Khabib in the
There you go.
UFC is 50-0 against men. Should he be able to go into the women's division and fight all those women?
Andrew, you're missing the point. We're standardizing
Yeah.
for size here. The people that you're bringing
Yeah, I'm
up are
standardizing
super
too.
big. Like Brock Lesnar is, of course, not going to get in the ring with most women because the size difference is huge. That's why we're
No,
standardizing
Khabib is
a
150.
different factor besides gender.
Yeah. No, Khabib is 150. He's only 150 pounds. There are women who are 150 in the UFC. Like, should he? And he's fit. And he's 50-0 against men.
Sure, why
Can
not?
Khabib fight in the one?
Why not?
You want
Well,
Khabib?
Why
well,
not put him?
Andrew,
Why not put a 150-pound woman in with Khabib?
He's gonna
if she
destroy
wants
all
to
those
fight,
women.
if she wants to fight, like that's the thing, Andrew. Like you're not giving women the agency. Like we're not talking about putting a guy in a ring and then saying, "Oh, all women have to fight him." We're talking about people who think that they can actually do well and actually fight. This is not a we're going to force all the women to fight this person. If the woman says, "No, I think I can take him." Let her fight. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're
If
getting
she
like these
wants
groups
to,
when he's.
if she wants to, let her go. Why do you want to
And yeah,
block that?
And Andrew, we're talking at the professional level here. You're talking professional. They get to choose who they get in the ring with. Like they have a contract ahead of
Yeah.
time. And so they get to decide what terms they get to decide what weight bracket they're going in under. It's a contracted sport, which is totally give them the autonomy to set that up on their own.
So
Why does the
when you
government
have
have to need to get
biological
in on
women,
that?
so when you have biological women complaining that they can't beat these dudes, y'all just saying they need to
Who's
just
saying
work
that?
harder than women?
Who's saying that,
Huh?
Andrew? Who are the
The,
cis women saying they can't defeat men? Who are those people?
they've been on like the news and stuff when they were saying how you have these women. I mean
Are you
they're,
talking
well, they're
about trans
biological
women?
men.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
trans women? Or
yeah,
are you talking about men? So you see that trans women are men.
yeah. Like, well, biologically. I'm talking about biologically they're men.
No, that they're
They're not.
biologically they're male. They're not men. Do you understand the difference between gender and sex?
What's the difference?
The difference is one is biological, meaning they have the phenotypical characteristics of like maleness with, all the things and the trappings that come with that. And then gender is how you identify as,
Like,
which is socially
okay,
constructed.
so what does it mean to
So,
identify as a man?
Andrew, are you a man?
Yes, I'm a man.
That's what it means. You just did it. You just demonstrated what it means to identify as a man.
So they identify as like me?
You identified as a man just now, so that that's exactly what it means to identify as a man.
Yeah, but is it like a certain character, a certain amount of trait, or what? Because I identify as a man because
No,
I have a penis
it's
and
how
testes.
you
It is
are
your
a man
psychological
because you
sense of
told me you're a
self.
man. Yeah. It's your that's what it is. So when you say I'm a man, that means you're a man.
So if a
Why would I
woman,
why
a
would I
biological,
Well, you're
yeah,
confusing
but
biological again because we're talking about biology is separate, right? Like I am a trans woman. So therefore I was born male, but I identify as a woman. So therefore I am a trans woman. That's how
yeah,
we
but
identify the difference between me. So I am acknowledging the fact that I was born male, but I also understand that I am a woman because that is my general schema of how I look at my life. That's the difference.
so
That's
what
why
are
we have words that define the difference.
so you're saying that a woman is a set of behaviors or criteria
No,
that
it's
you
it's a
apply to yourself?
psychological sense of self. It is your sense of yourself. If you were alone and nobody told you who you had to be or who you were, who would you say Andrew is? That's what we're talking about.
So
You don't have to
so
look down and touch your penis to prove you're a man,
so
right?
if a nut, yeah, I do. Like, how else are you gonna know if you're a
You
man?
do?
So Andrew,
Because you
Yeah,
just told me you're a
if you
man.
look, if I'm born with a penis, you're a
if
man.
you lost if you lost your male anatomy, would you still be a man?
Yes.
Okay. So it
Okay,
doesn't have
so
anything to
being
do
a
with your
man,
penis.
yeah, so being a man mean like you don't have to have a penis to be a man.
No, but you do have the reproductive pathways of going down that
What
road.
does that mean? Describe to me, Andrew, describe to me these reproductive pathways.
Like a predisposition genetically to being
No, I'm
a
asking
male.
Andrew, I'm asking you if you know what that means because you say this stuff. I doubt you can like walk me through the pathway of how you get to biological sex. But
You want me to explain to you
prove me
how it
wrong.
works?
Yeah,
Well,
because I'm
Like
going to
like
assume that if you're going to make claims like this, that you know a little bit of what you're talking about. And I'm a physician, right? I had to study embryology of sex and how you develop certain anatomical features. I have to study hormones. Uh, I've done a lot more work in this, and I can walk you through every step of the process and why I believe that sex and gender are separate and why that sex is a spectrum because I know enough of the process. I can, if I were to, like, if you were to narrow down any single part of the pathway, there is no way that you can say that all of these factors are going to be congruent 100% of the time. And so that's why my
well,
position is based on scientific knowledge of how these processes work. So if you are going to disagree with me, I would love it if you could tell me that you understand these processes and then maybe we'd be on the same page. So you have to
yeah,
demonstrate that
yeah,
that fact to me. You can't
no,
just say
yeah.
that there's a predestination to have certain traits. These traits come from
I'm
somewhere.
still
Do you know where they come from?
no, I'm still studying in on this stuff. I just not too long ago
sure.
starting to learn about it.
Right. So
So
what
Andrew,
what I
factor?
was
So what factor? If you had to give me one factor that makes somebody a man or makes somebody male,
male.
what
I guess
factor would make somebody male?
gamete production, like you produce sperm as a male, and as a woman you produce like ova.
So if somebody
Okay.
cannot produce sperm, but they have all other features of being male, what are they?
They're still a male, I think.
Okay, so it's not gametes. So gametes don't matter then. So
Yeah, but
gametes cannot be
their
that
testes
factor.
are supposed to produce sperm. It's just that something happened,
So
like something genetically
Andrew,
or whatever. But we know that
if
we
somebody
know what they're
has
supposed to produce.
if somebody has ovotestes, if they have both ovaries and testes, what are they?
Well, it depends on are they producing sperm and ova, like
They're not.
eggs
They're
or whatever?
usually not producing anything. They're not producing anything, but they have both parts. What are they?
I don't think that's possible. I've never heard of no such
It's
condition.
it
possible.
is possible.
It is
It
possible,
is.
and this is again why I was asking you
So
to
yeah,
if you understood this stuff, because it sounds like you don't. Because we have case studies of people with ovotestes. This is a real phenomenon. Most often, they are not able to reproduce. But there are plenty of conditions where people have equally male and female anatomy. So in those
so they
circumstances,
have testes.
how would you assign
They
them?
have wait. So they have testes and produce no sperm, and they have like
And they have
ovaries and produce no.
Yep. So what?
How
So what would you
how are they
classify them
alive?
as?
I don't know. What is that, a
Because
chimera or
because
something?
yeah, because gonads, Andrew, because gonads are not required for the rest of your life, right? Like it's not like a
Yeah.
heart or a brain or kidneys or a liver. Like it's gonads. You can be born without gonads and still be a functioning human being.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like, so you mean to tell me there's a person like I'm gonna have to look into
Yes,
that. What's
that
the?
is
I
what
don't
I'm
even know the
saying,
name of
Yes,
it.
Andrew.
please do. So Andrew, first off, I just want to and we will wrap up this call soon, but I do kind of want to ask you a couple questions, right? Because every time these conversations kind of happen, they kind of go down this biology world where it's like male and female and they all and this is what makes and all this type of stuff. But in reality, like when we're walking through the world, we are interacting with people's gender, not sex. And what I mean by that is are walking around and people are the social construction of how people are perceived in the world as women, men, or non-binary. Like there is a completely different way of interacting with people. So when we talk about the difference between sex and gender, it's very important because we want to be accurate in how we speak. Correct, Andrew? Don't you want to be accurate in the way that you speak?
Yeah, I understand. But
Okay.
can
So
I ask
so
a,
when we talk about gender, I want to ask you a question because you wanted to ask a question about what is a woman, and I can maybe get to that, but we may not have enough time for that. But I want to ask you a question since you called on the show. Define gender for me.
gender is a well to me, in my opinion, gender is gender. I don't see a difference between gender and sex, but I guess if you want today's version, it's how you identify, how you self-identify as as a man or a woman. Like some people tell me that
It-
gender is the stereotypical roles of being a woman, like wearing a dress, hair, makeup, stuff like that. That's what people,
well,
I hear from
that
different
is
trans
so that
people.
is yeah, that's the schema, right? Like everybody in our lives, we all kind of have a kind of an idea of what a man and a woman is and a person kind of is. We have the like understanding of what general buckets people fit in because in the 1800s, people used to wear powdered wigs and heels and they were mostly men, right, that did that, right? Like so back then it would have been the opposite, right, where it's like, oh, powdered wig, powdered faces, high heels, that was kind of seen as very masculine. The color pink was masculine as well. So things change over time because of the social constructions, and that is kind of what we interact with. So in understanding the fact that there is a difference between gender and sex is how we have really good conversation because words evolve, right? Like we used to just say men are this, women are this, but in reality, we have better words to describe things now than we did before. So wouldn't it make the most sense to make sex and gender different?
Um, Perhaps. I see what you're saying. I do have like
Yeah.
one last question before y'all go. Like if a guy, I mean a male, if he's talking to
Uh-huh.
what he thinks is a woman, should trans people be required to let the opposite sex know that they're trans? Because some trans people,
No,
they keep it a secret. Why?
no. Should you be required to disclose any personal business to anybody ever? No. That's
Well,
your
if I
own
want to,
personal
no, well, if I want to
information.
talk to a, if I want to talk to, if I want to talk to a woman, that because most men want to reproduce with a woman, and you have some trans people are deceptive. They don't tell the person that they're trans.
What? Okay, wait,
Yeah.
wait. Okay, hold on. Let me take this. So Andrew, like the idea of being deceptive is kind of messed up, right? Like anybody can be deceptive when they're first meeting somebody. So for example, if you go into a date with somebody and you immediately say, "I want to be able to have sex and reproduce," right? And be like, "I want to start a family and I want to have biological children." And the person, let's say, can't have children, and they're like, "Sure, that's great. Let's go ahead and do that." Do you think that that's okay?
Well, if the person that can't have children, they should let you know that, hey, I'm infertile. I can't have kids.
Okay.
Not just you get into a
All
relationship with
right.
them and you fall in love,
All right.
and then
Andrew,
yeah,
so
right?
that's what I'm talking about, right? So when you're on a date with somebody and you're having a conversation about what you're into, if the date's really vibing, right? And you're like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." Usually a trans person's going to disclose to you because they want to be safe and not killed. That's number one. So the case that people are being deceptive and pretending to not be, trans, and then all of a sudden they're in for a surprise that night, rarely ever happens because it's dangerous for trans people to do that. So most of the time that
Yeah,
is.
but
But if
when
you're
it
on
does
date
happen,
one, it, if you're on date one and then it doesn't go anywhere, it's like, "Oh, I had a coffee with this guy, but I really wasn't into him, so I'm probably not going to see him again." You have no business to know what's in my pants. How would you
yeah,
feel,
yeah,
Andrew,
yeah.
if a girl was like, "Hey, when they're having coffee with you, you're like, "Hey, I only want to have people with dick sizes 8 inches or more." Is that okay? Is that what you have? Because if you don't, I'm gonna go ahead and call this date off. Would that make you feel
Yeah, I
uncomfortable?
mean, no, it wouldn't make me
Yeah,
feel
it would,
uncomfortable.
right? Because
I
it
said
wouldn't make
no,
you.
it
So you'd
wouldn't.
be okay with. Okay, so there we go. So there is your answer, right? So if someone was upfront with you and was like, "Hey, I'm vibing with you, but I want to make sure that I'm only going to have sex with somebody that has this long of a thing," right? Then you don't hit that quota, then fine, bye, right? Like that's how
Yeah,
silly the conversation becomes, Andrew. Like when you are having a relationship or a date experience or things like that, we tend to share things that are intimate with people that we're into. Like if you're at a bar and you're just chit chatting with somebody next to you, it's not that person doesn't have to tell you what. If a girl was just sitting next to you and was like, "Hey, I only want to talk to people that have a dick size at this size," are you going to be like, "Whoa, that's really weird to ask for the first thing that you sat down next to me and talked about?" That was how weird it would be if a trans person's like, "Hey, before I say a word to you, can I just tell you that I'm trans?" That's weird, Andrew. Why would we talk about things that are so personal and intimate?
because most dudes don't want to talk to trans women.
Well,
Like
that's their
most
problem.
That's
guys
not
just
true,
Trans
though.
women are hot.
That's also not
That's
true.
not true either.
and
It's not most
no, well,
men.
it's most men. Most men want biological women.
And that's also your opinion. That's your opinion, man.
That's not
Like
about. That's not my
honestly,
opinion.
Which I
I
also
walk around the world all the time getting hit on by all types of people. And so I'm going to tell you right now that you're just wrong.
it
That's
was
because
also
they're
your
being tricked.
opinion
But
that it was also
I'm
Andrew. It was
a
also your
trick.
opinion. No,
All right,
Andrew, it's
Andrew, I'm
also
going to
your
leave it
opinion
there.
that yeah, it's also your opinion that
Yeah.
men are by default better than women in sports. So I'm not inclined to
Yeah.
believe
So,
your opinions on
Andrew,
things.
I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go because I'm just going to be even more mean at this point. So, call back again and then we can discuss the difference between sex and gender. All right, Andrew. Have a great day.
okay, thank
Bye.
you.
That one crossed a line for me. I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm gonna start
yeah, no.
screaming if I don't. No. Anyways, let's get to the polls. So
All right.
the poll
Yeah.
this week, and then the little palate cleanser here. All right. So, should gender affirming care be guaranteed health care benefits for federal employees? And our chat says 94% say that it should be guaranteed, and 6% said no. So, if you are one of the people that said no, please call in. As you can see, even when I am insulted to my face, I don't go off the handle. I think Ben and I have been incredibly reasonable this call. So call in. I really want to know why you believe that healthcare for federal employees should not be allowed. So yeah.
Yeah. So with this particular poll, of course, based on a real thing that is really happening in this country, the decision to not cover HRT and other gender affirming care for adults who are federal employees, like not including that under their health care that they get provided. However, they are saying that they're required to cover faith-based practices to do deconversion or do conversion therapy or other such not evidence-based practices. So it's not just that, hey, we're not going to use these tax dollars that are paying your salary to give you this healthcare. It's also that we are going to use tax dollars to fund practices that are not evidence-based and lead to worse outcomes, to see if you could just try not being trans for once. So yeah, that is what's actually happening. And if you say yes, please call in, because yeah, we have thoughts.
If they say yes, that we shouldn't be guaranteed health care, definitely call in.
Yeah.
Great. So we have another call. It may be spicy, don't know. And we're going to be talking to Jane, whose pronouns are I am woman, from the USA. Hey, Jane. Well, thanks for calling the line. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So what do you want to talk about? It seems something about special privileges. I would love to know more. What do you mean?
Yes, I think that right now people who want to have cosmetic procedures, surgeries, medicines to alter their appearance for whatever reason, for a dysmorphic reason if you want, and are pushing for these items, and some of them are already to be carried on insurance carriers, making everybody else's costs go up. Dr. Ben, you actually stated that some breast augmentations are covered under insurances. And listen, I know a lot of women who need breast, not augmentations. I can't think of the
Breast
word.
reductions.
Breast reductions, exactly. And I know one who paid $12,000 for her, and I'm sure if you share this magical insurance with all the ladies out there who need breast reduction, their backs hurt. They'd love to know.
Breast reduction is
A
covered.
lot of times that's
Jane, breast
covered.
reduction is covered.
Yeah, absolutely. It's medical necessary.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that that's actually a false statement, because every single insurance carrier in the U.S. is a private entity.
Give me specific.
Even
Give me specific
in
examples,
Medicaid
Jane.
and Medicare.
Give me specific. No,
Jane.
no. Not every single insurance provider is a private entity. I have TRICARE, which is not a private entity.
Yeah.
Medicaid is not a private entity. Yeah.
The VA.
So that is
Medicaid and Medicare in my state are actually funded through the regular insurance companies, the big three in our area. That's what you get the option of, at least in my state.
It's still
Medicaid
even if that's true,
federally and state covered. The insurance companies are not asking the person for the money. They're asking the government. So just because it's covered through a private health insurance, where are they getting the money? They're getting a lot of the subsidy from the government. And breast reductions are covered by most insurance.
Do you both feel that your cosmetic procedures have been done to your satisfaction?
Jane,
I think you both look quite good.
Jane. So here's a problem, since we just addressed two of your points, and then you just sped off past them as if we said nothing about it.
Well, I would like to talk about special privileges. I would like to know how
and we were talking about them, Jane. So you said that you love for the magical breast reductions to be covered magically by insurance, and we're saying that they do. So if you disagree with that
insurance
statement, you need
does.
to provide evidence. You need to provide
Is it
evidence that it
Priority
doesn't.
Health or
So
Blue Cross Blue Shield or your Tri-Health? Is it your Tri-Health? I
do
don't
you
know if
want
they
to
have them in my
go?
state.
Yeah, we can go look. Let's
Let's
see.
look it up. Let's
Insurance
absolutely look it
coverage.
up. I would
Yeah,
love to
So
know because women have a lot of problems
reduction
with getting
surgery.
breast
Yeah.
reduction surgeries. One of my
I've
friends
referred
spent
people for breast
$12,000
reduction.
to yeet her
So
teats.
yeah, no, I've referred people
Jane,
for this. I've written documentation for medical necessity for breast reduction surgery. The way that you go about doing it can absolutely influence how much is covered and not, but it is not whether or not it's covered. It is still covered. It's just
in
the
most
how
plans.
you write the documentation to get it covered can be a little bit silly sometimes. And if your provider doesn't know how to navigate that, then yeah, it could be an absolute pain in the butt. But that's across the
And
board.
that's across the board. And Jane, the thing that you're talking about here is more of a failure of our American healthcare system, right? Because I do believe that if somebody's having back issues and need a medical necessity to have breast reduction surgery and their insurance isn't covering that because of a loophole that the insurance is using, that's a problem. So I agree.
So
I think
Jane,
that every person should have that access.
I'm on Aetna's website right now for breast reduction surgery and gynecomastia surgery. So gynecomastia surgery, which is a cosmetic procedure for usually for cisgender males. So and it is under cosmetic label. So Aetna considers breast reduction, surgical mastectomy, or liposuction for gynecomastia, either unilateral or bilateral, a cosmetic surgical procedure. And so they have coverage for that. They have coverage for obviously medical management of, treatment for headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, kyphosis, skin ulceration, etc. It just, you have to document what specifically you're treating and that it is medically necessary. That's really the criteria here. But you have coverage. You have
Yeah.
coverage for these.
So Jane, as
So
long as the
what about
doctor is
people
proving that
who
it's
can
medically necessary.
only afford coverage
Go ahead.
through their employer? So I don't get a choice in my coverage. Right now, my
So
coverage comes through my husband's job due to the better insurance, and we don't get a choice. We work there, so it's great that
That's not an issue.
Echidna
Jane, that's not
Edna does this.
I don't know why trans people are to blame for this particular thing. This is just insurance should
No, I
not
just
be.
want us to be included.
No, you shouldn't be
I'm not
required.
saying
No, Jane,
that's why I said
Jane,
special
You
that's the
should be
problem.
privileges. I
included,
want us
Jane.
to be
You should.
included in the benefits.
Jane,
You
listen to
are.
me.
You should
Listen to
be
me.
included.
Listen to me. This is an issue. What you're describing is not an issue with trans people. This is an issue with our broken healthcare system and that we need universal healthcare. We should not require people to have a job to get health insurance. I think that's absolute bullshit. I agree with you that you should be able to get these surgeries covered. And I believe they should be universally covered for everybody. That includes cis people and trans people. So for that piece, we're on the same page. We want to know why
here's
trans
the problem
people
with
are
that.
the issue
We live in a capitalist country. There is no, I don't like doing like debates where people are like, but if we had socialism, because I'm sorry, we don't have that system. We have capitalism, and you go to the doctor, and both of you look beautiful, by the way. Seriously, your doctors did a great job on you, and you paid for that.
Dr. Ben, I
But
don't believe
that is
had
very
anything happen to
expensive.
his face.
I did nothing to my
You're
face.
really making an assumption. You're really making an assumption about Dr. Ben right now, which is incredibly flattering. Well done, sir. Well done, King.
I did. The funny thing is, I had a facial surgery in 2012, but it was for my jaw, and they actually tried to make me look more feminine. So there you go, because I wasn't out yet.
Health insurance,
Jane,
is for emergencies, and everybody's healthcare costs go up. So people in a car accident go up if we are doing cosmetic surgeries.
That's absolute bullshit.
Jane, that's not how that works. That's not how it works.
No, health insurance isn't only for emergency. Do you use health insurance for routine medical care? Like, do you think insurances should cover routine medical care for children?
Most of them cover routine medical care. Mine's like $50 a copay, a visit. You know?
Right, but they should, right? Like, but insurance should not be insurance is not limited to Emergencies. That's the whole point I'm getting at, right? Because if you're taking your child, number one, if you're birthing your child, you should have insurance pay for the birth of your child and any complications surrounding that. You should have pediatrician visits covered through insurance, because we know that if kids get healthcare, they live longer. Like that's just a given. It's not only for emergencies. And so and Jane, I think your whole argument here is not even, you're focused on the difference between socialized healthcare and private healthcare, and that's not at
We
all
don't
related
have
to the trans
socialized
discussion.
healthcare, sir.
That's
I don't want to
I
talk
know
about
you
how
don't, Jane.
socialized
Jane, are
healthcare
you
will
even
be the
listening?
greatest thing ever. I
Jane, are
don't.
you
You're
It's
not-
listening to the
it's not a point.
conversation?
We're not
What?
saying
How
that,
does
Jane.
this? Where in this is related to trans? Because every issue that you're saying is not related to trans people.
Do
Why are
trans
trans
people
people the
receive
problem?
expensive medical care to have the life they want? Do you need to receive expensive medical care
Sometimes.
to have the life that you want?
Also, do children receive expensive? Do children have
I'm not
expensive
talking
medical
about children
care?
right now.
Okay,
I'm
let me
talking about
take
trans
this
people
in. Let me
to be trans.
So Jane, okay, so I want to step in here in a second here. So I just kind of want to pull everything back a little bit because I feel like we're going way off the rails here and I just want to bring the energy down. So your question is, do trans people receive health care that is expensive at times? The answer is yes.
Do you
So
necessity? Necessity. And it is necessity
for
for
some,
you to receive this care to be happy in your life. Yes, that's what you're saying.
yeah.
And that's why you want it to be covered by insurance.
Do you know what the diagnosis of gender dysphoria is? And do you know how you receive that diagnosis?
I know that it's
Jane?
faster now. I know.
But do you know what it is?
Interested.
But do you understand? But
What?
it's
Okay,
important
so
to
do
know
you know
that
what
trans people
body
are getting this
dysmorphia
care.
Is it just a subtype of body dysmorphia?
No.
Why wouldn't
It's
other
completely
body
different from
dysmorphia
body
people?
dysmorphia. It's completely
yeah,
different.
It's not a
Jane.
type of body dysmorphia.
No.
You wish
it's
to
not,
change your
because
bodies and your faces.
but that has nothing
Jane,
to
do you want to
do
listen?
with the diagnosis of gender dysphoria. So what I'm talking about, Jane, and like if somebody has diagnosable body dysmorphia and they go have a psychologist and they have the letters and then they go in and they submit the claim to the insurance, a lot of times the insurance will cover such things. So just because two things can have the same outcome does not make them the same. So gender dysphoria has a lot to do with the internal sense of how somebody feels and the outward discomfort that they are presenting. So I have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria. I had to go to 2 psychologists to be able to get that diagnosis covered by my insurance, and only a small little portion of my insurance was covered. For a $17,000 surgery, I only got reimbursed $4,000, okay? So the idea that these are just magically covered by insurance, and I work for a trans organization with really good healthcare, and I still couldn't get it all covered. So the idea that we're getting this special treatment and the red carpet's rolling out for us is not true. There are so many trans people who are on 5, 6, 7-year wait list just to get their surgeries because they have to go through the process of insurance waiting. So a lot of times, a lot of trans people.
You want to wait for a good surgeon. You don't want to be
No,
hacked
we
up.
want to
I've
wait for
seen
a
that.
surgeon.
It's bad.
No.
So bad.
But Jane, calm down. I'm actually trying to have a conversation with you. I am talking about something completely different. There are people who are on waiting lists because only a few surgeons actually take the healthcare insurance, right? So because so few surgeons actually take the full healthcare, the ones that do have to wait really long wait times before those surgeons can be seen. That is where the issue is. There's a bottleneck that is
you
happening.
work for a trans
So there is no
organization.
privilege. Yes.
Why not start some sort of health saving group where trans people can put money aside to cover these surgeries, these cosmetic surgeries?
Anywhere on the internet? Have you literally been anywhere? There are reasons why trans people are starting GoFundMes for their healthcare because they're not getting it covered, because the red tape is extraordinary.
I would start a GoFundMe too, but I'm not that interesting, okay?
Jane,
nobody would donate to my health problems. They're not interesting.
Do you think people would be starting these GoFundMes if their procedures were covered by their insurance?
Well, I think that GoFundMe, you guys are a very strong community, and I'm so sorry, I don't know what the letters are, but the
Doesn't answer my question, Jane.
LGBTQ.
Jane, it doesn't
Anyway,
answer
you
my
guys
question.
are such a
Do you
strong
think they would
community,
be? Do you
and
think they
you
would
are
be suing them
buying
if they're
beauty,
Jane? Answer my
your
question.
beauty.
Do you think they would have these GoFundMes if their surgeries were covered by insurance?
Some of it
This
is
is a yes or no
covered.
question.
Some of it is
Some of
covered.
it
I'm
isn't,
sure that people want
but
more
it's not.
surgeries than
But
their insurance would cover, but where
Maybe
does
it's
it
you came
not
stop?
for
into this
most
call,
people.
Jane. You came into this call saying trans people have special privilege to be able to get these surgeries because there's all covered by the insurance, and we are proving to you that it's not so great on this side.
I
And I
never said
appreciate
that it
you
was
think that
all
the trans
covered. I said you
community.
wanted special privileges, that having it fully covered by the insurance, that you wanted special privileges.
I want
And if you
everybody's
say you
coverage
don't
to be
want special
covered.
privilege, we can't do that in
Jane,
the
I
system
want
we
you.
have.
Yes, we can. Because the system is broken is a completely different
It
conversation
is
instead of saying,
broken.
oh, trans people. It is. We agree, and we have been agreeing this whole time. The fact that insurance
More
companies that are
surgeries.
able to moderate. Jane, let
We
me say
only have
this.
so many medical resources. We only have so many doctors. Do you know that there's a doctor crisis
And why is that?
for doctors?
Jane,
Because
these
specialists
are
make more
different
money, and so nobody
conversations.
wants to go to medical school and become your walk-in
Jane,
doctor and make
are you
only
really telling
$100,000
me?
a year,
Jane,
whatever.
are you telling me? You're telling me you're woman-splaining to me about the crisis
Wait, I'm
with
woman-splaining to you? How
doctors.
can I woman-splain to another woman, ma'am?
Jane,
I can
hey,
only
Wow.
Jane, calm the
woman-splain
fuck
to the other
down.
dude.
First off,
No, you're done. No, I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. We're
yeah.
dropping you right now. Bye.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's fucked up. Like
No.
that she didn't have any interest in talking, and I'm sorry that
No.
that happened to you, Ben. I'm so sorry. Man, these calls are on a roll today, aren't they? I was called a trick. Now you're called that. Wow, this is turning out into a beautiful day. Oh my
But trans
gosh.
people have it so easy and just want special treatment, right? We just want
Yeah,
special
and
treatment, and we don't face any problems at all.
and I'm gonna jump in real quick here because like the whole idea of like there isn't socialism in the United States. Firefighters, infrastructure, VA care, military benefits, all of the things that exist in the country, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP benefits, housing protections, things like that are all socialism. It is American socialism. Socialism is as American as apple pie. So don't even say, oh, we don't have socialism in this country. When you're sitting there saying we have a capitalist system, but the medical system is completely fucking broke. Yeah, maybe you should start fucking thinking about what a socialized system actually looks at when you actually take out the bullshit insurance companies that are blocking medically necessary procedures. Because the problem with the fact that Jane is outside of the hideous transphobia coming off her fucking body is the fact that she is mad that the healthcare system is not working for her. Well, that is the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues in the United States. It's because insurance companies have all the money, all of the wealth, and they are sitting there denying healthcare when they're not even fucking doctors. They have AI that is denying healthcare. This is the issue with our system. And the fact that you're going to say, oh, Medicare, Medicaid, and all this stuff, it takes 2% to administer that process, while insurance companies take 30% or more. So like we had such an opportunity to have a conversation about how we fix Americans' broken healthcare system instead of saying, oh, they got their cookie, so why can't I? So take their cookie away because I can't have it is bullshit. And it's, oh my God, that just pisses me off. It's just like,
Yeah. That was a horrendous call. Horrendous.
It was horrendous, and she would not stop. She was just like so angry at trans people and jealous of like my work that I have done. It's like, bitch, I have gender dysphoria. Like you can't even understand what gender dysphoria is and why it's medical necessary. And I am lucky that I had the opportunity to be able to get this care, because I would not be as happy as a person if I didn't. And it's so fucking obvious. It's like if somebody had gender dysmorphia, or not gender dysmorphia, sorry. If somebody had body dysmorphia around their nose or something and they've been going to a psychologist for years trying to figure out why they can't be happy because every time they look in the mirror, give the person a nose job, have the medical care to take care of it. I don't give a fuck. Let everybody have the care that they need. Like, it's like the idea that we have this limited resources that we can't give everybody everything they need. So suffering is part of the machine. If you're not suffering, then that's the problem. It's like, we can have a better fucking country where citizens get what they need. I'm tired of
And
people being
honestly,
like, well, I had to suffer, so you must too.
well, no, and going back on the thing that Jane was getting to with the doctor crisis, honestly, what you are mentioning, Josie, the fact that the system is so broken and people can't get what they need, and there's so few resources from the bottom, not from the top. The top has enough resources. The bottom, the people entering the system, the physicians entering the system, being used as like work monkeys to just churn out volume and like not even get the respect of having like their diagnoses and treatment modalities approved like by fucking insurance. That is why we have a physician crisis. People aren't going to medical school because you burn out, because the system is so broken. Like, if you really want to fix the physician crisis, you fix all of this healthcare nonsense. You actually give back to the people that are in the system and stop taking away from them. Like, that's the answer to this.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for handling all of these things because this has been a spicy day, which is good. So we're going to go ahead and say, if you haven't liked and subscribed and you like Spicy Josie and Ben, please like and subscribe right now. That would be really great, as well as join the Patreon if you have not. We really want to get to 200,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We got to do that. So we have the poll out for what hashtag Team Ben, hashtag Team Josie will have to either fight for if we lose and we'll read those super chats out loud for $5 or more. So the questions are: TERFs are NPCs, birds are biologically non-binary, and make bathrooms their own states. So
oh wait, that should be bards. I love that. Bards are biologically non-binary, not birds.
Bards? Oh, bards. Oh, I said
it
birds.
Would be funny if it was birds, though, at some point.
It would be funny. I mean, I thought it was funny.
I might do dealer's choice on that because I wasn't expecting birds are non-binary, and that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of funny.
That is really funny.
Okay.
All
great.
Right.
So we have a really great palate cleanser call. So we'll go ahead and take Edward from the the person I was about to call dropped.
The other one dropped?
Yeah, it did. I was about to click that one and it went away. So I guess I will go ahead and take Edward from the UK, he, him pronouns. Hello, Edward. You're live on the line. How are you? And what would you like to talk to us about? Hello, Edward? If you've been on hold, you have to wake up your phone if you're calling in from the red browser on your phone. Edward, hello. I'm going to return you back the queue. And if you just need to wake up your phone, so we'll get you back here. Oh, I can. Good. Right before I hit it. Hello, Edward. How are you? What would you like to talk to us about? You're live on the line.
Yeah. Sorry. The only question I had in mind was the push of the pronouns. I'm all okay for pronouns.
Mm-hmm. So your question is why pronouns?
Okay. Can you hear me better?
Yep. Yes, I can hear you better now. Thank you. Go ahead and restate your question, please, Edward.
Yeah. So my question was in regards to having pronouns. I'm all okay for having pronouns, but I'm curious about why implied pronouns must be stated. Right. So if there was a male, female.
Yeah, because different people may identify differently than the way that they express. And so it's just polite and respectful to either ask people or have people state their pronouns so that you know, instead of getting it wrong and accidentally disrespecting somebody. That's the whole reason.
Would
Did you hear that?
Go ahead. Edward, are you there? It looks like you're cutting in and out. Say again?
Yeah, let me rejoin. My headphones have issues.
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay, I'm going to return you back to queue, and then we'll try to take you here in a moment. Okay. Great. Oh, and all right. So now, it looks like the other call possibly dropped. So while we do that, we will go ahead and talk about the line schedule this week. We have tomorrow, we have HOSTility, and we haven't done that HOSTility in a while. So that's going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time with John Gleason and Jasper Hoffman. And then the Sunday show at 2 p.m. Central Time will be Matt Dillahunty and Eric. And then we have Skeptalk on Monday, which is at 6 p.m. Central Time with Forrest and Justin. Chewed Gum on Tuesday with Alyssa and Taylor. And we have The Hang Up with Matt Dillahunty and our newest host on the line, Jovan, as well as TACIS next week at 2 p.m. Central Time with Lux and you, Dr. Ben. So yeah.
Ben, would you mind? I know you were more familiar with Jasper's work. Just let the audience know so that way they can kind of get an idea of what tomorrow's like.
Yeah. No, I was definitely wanting to tell you all about Jasper because I had the privilege of listening to her talk at NanoCon. She was on a panel, and I definitely believe that she needed some more time. So she actually, her background, I believe she was born and initially raised in California to non-Amish people, non-Amish parents, and then they converted to Pennsylvania Amish. And so she then kind of grew up more in the Amish community, and then had to deconstruct all of that. And she got out, but now she actually goes back, like she works with, I think, the FBI or some other agency to help keep women safe who are experiencing abuse in the Amish community. And it's some really incredible work, incredible stories. So I think, anybody, whether or not you have a similar like conservative fundamentalist background, I think just from a women's rights perspective, this is a story that needs to be out more. So definitely go check that out tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And also, if you, I also want to plug as well, josieformaryland.com. Go and donate. We're running a campaign over here, so please go and do that. Donate. We need it. We're doing really, really well. So keep it up. Keep donating. So with that, we'll go ahead and take Sam from California. Sam, he, him pronouns. You're live on the line. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you two doing today?
Doing
all
well.
right.
We had some spicy calls, but I think you have a positive update to give us. So what do you want to tell us?
Okay, so I had called, I think the Thursday, the last time you guys were talking about recovering from religion with Kara. And at the time, I was struggling with religious guilt, even though the majority of my life wasn't really that religious. And since then, I've worked on deconstructing, and I don't know where I am in that journey, but I do want to say that my transitioning has way less guilt tied to it than it did when I last called. Partially is because despite I live in California. People think blue state means that everybody's accepting, but where I live, it's definitely not. A little area with nothing but like Trump flags everywhere and anti-abortion stuff and all of that. So I don't feel comfortable here. But my doctor came from an area that was progressive stuff and, working with AIDS, HIV, and all kinds of stuff like that. And she has been like my light here. She helped me get back on my hormones, and just about a couple of weeks ago, she increased my testosterone, and I haven't felt this sense of freedom in about 2 years when it comes to my gender dysphoria. So after that and seeing the support that I get within the couple people in this town, it's helped me so much where I stopped having panic attacks thinking that if I transition, I'm going to go to hell. My only thing is that it still affects my surgery, because I really, really know that if I got top surgery, not only would I feel better about myself, but I know for a fact having less weight there would also be good for my back and my sleeping. So, it's tied to two reasons. But aside from that, I'm working with that because my mom noticed that I had way more guilt than she really thought, noticed. So she's been helping me work through that. But since then, I've felt significantly better, and especially knowing that recovering from religion was out there, it had really given me perspective, gave me light in a lot of my uncertainties, and just for once, I don't feel like I'm going to hell, even though it's a place that I don't believe exists. And I want to say that it's definitely thank you to you guys. And at the time I saw that, there was a couple of people in chat saying that they would have liked to hear an update. At that time, so I wanted to call in and share that, telling you guys that I can actually breathe. This is something completely unexpected. There's one of those dollar type stores that's just down the road from me, and I rarely go in there. But 2 times that I did, I noticed that there was a guy that's shorter than me, and every time I saw him, it was validating to me to see somebody that's shorter than me because height does bother me. And I was buying cigs for my mom, so I had to hand over my ID. I had never once mentioned me being trans at all in that store, ever. And the guy asks me right away, privately, he asks me, when are you going to get your name changed? And we clocked each other. I was like, no way. And it was awesome. He told me about his name too and all of that. And I was like, holy shit. It felt good to find another trans man just working down the road. So every time that I stopped in there, I always hope that he's there because it felt good to see just somebody else like me organically out there in an area that isn't that accepting.
That's so cool.
Well,
I'm
thank
so
you for
happy you had.
sharing.
Yeah, I'm so happy you had all that experiences, and I mean for our previous caller, the fact that people don't see why any of this is medically necessary, but listening to your story and how that small change in your testosterone just made things so much better for you, and this stuff is life-saving. It does
Yeah, it is.
significantly improve quality of life, and I think just listening to you talk about this should help everybody understand that this is important. This is healthcare. This is essential for us being who we are. And I'm so happy to hear that some things are going well for you.
Yeah.
Sam,
And my
thank
doctor is
you.
ready. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please continue.
Oh, I was going to say the first time that I saw my new doctor, she told me she was ready to give me top surgery, set that up for me with my insurance.
Aww.
So I definitely, as far as long as my insurance helps cover it, which was also, was something like a quick thought that I had during one of the last calls was, that when people think of gender affirming care, they always straight think towards the surgeries, and that's important, but they don't realize how much even hormones does so much. And,
exactly.
And also, I think one of them underestimated how much the health field is about, being strict about giving gender affirming care. What was it? Oh, as far as distinguishing body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria, I think some people may not realize that trans people can have both in their distinct things.
Yeah.
There are things I know that if I went and got surgery for, it wouldn't change that. Issues with my weight, just self-image stuff, that I internalized growing up. There would be things that if I got liposuction and lost a lot of weight, that wouldn't hear that part of me. I would always find something different that's not tied to gender. But I know with gender stuff, the dysphoria, I can tell that that's different because treating that alleviated it so much that I can distinguish the two. Sorry, that was definitely a little rant right there.
No, well, thank you, Sam, for calling, and also, that's why the line supports recovery from religion. It's the reason why we do the fundraisers. It's this community at the line has been so generous in making sure that those resources exist for stories like yours. And one of the things that we talk about a lot with the Recovery for Religion group is that it's so important, especially for queer and trans people as well, because we have that internalized feeling of like, oh my God, am I going to hell? And there's like extra layers of trauma on top of that. So the fact that you are using these resources, the fact that you were able to get those resources to help you with the deconstruction, as well as finding other people in the trans community, as well as finding a good doctor that is affirming to give you the medication that you need, sounds like you're thriving. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you both taking my call.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. And you have a wonderful rest of your day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. That's I needed that. I needed
So
that
wholesome,
to
yeah.
so wholesome. It was so good. It was so good. Great. So
Because we have
Ben,
some more
are
spicy
you
calls, it looks like.
I think so. Which one do you want to take? Give me
Yeah.
the which one are you looking at
I mean
here?
the next
The next one?
the one at the top of the queue. I mean it's more of a you call, I
Okay.
think, but I mean
Okay,
if we're taking
sure.
spicy calls today,
I'll
why
take
not?
it.
But
I'll take it. So, Rain, he, him from Australia, you are live on the line. You have a question about genital preferences. Tell us about it. What's your question?
Hi, hello. Nice to meet you guys.
Hello. Yeah.
So basically, my question is sort of, is it transphobic to have a genital preference in dating? And to be clear, I'm a heterosexual cis male.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Yeah.
I think about this, sometimes as well. I do not think it's transphobic in particular, in my opinion, because it's just like, hey, like if it would be weird to me, and this is where things get a little weird. Like I've had situations where a person will talk to me like I'm on a dating profile and they see that I'm trans and they're talking to me. And then the second they find out that I'm actually had my bottom surgery, they stop talking to me. And to me, that's a little sus. Like that's a little transphobic for me because it's just like they're chasing me for something on my body and not for my actual self and who I am as a person. So I think it can be a
Okay.
little strange in that way where people are like, "Oh, I will talk to you if you've done XYZ" is always a little strange. I think like I was talking about on another call just now earlier about the fact that would it be strange for let's say a cis woman that is looking for a person with a penis that says I want a penis size this big, and if you're not that big or lower, then I don't want anything to do with you? Does that like do you see now we're starting to get into those weird kind of like territories, right? So for me, it's a really hard thing because it's like what I don't want to yuck people's yum, right? Like whatever. But I feel like there's a very fine line. It's a very, very, very fine line because, like, if you're like digging somebody and you're talking to them at the bar and everything's going well and you're really vibing, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm trans," and then all of a sudden your attraction to them is now based on what they have in their pants, can be a little weird too. So there's like that's why it's a fine line when we're talking about it because a lot of times people are attracted to people because of their personality or their physical attributes that they're showing or whatever they're doing that makes you attractive, and it's kind of this nebulous thing. It would be kind of strange if all of a sudden you just like pump the brakes. All right, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So I don't know, what are your thoughts about that, Rain?
That makes a lot of sense to me, and I do agree. Like, it's sort of weird to suddenly pump the brakes the moment you learn that someone is trans. I guess to give more of my own perspective, it's sort of like I value physical intimacy a lot, and I guess like, is it transphobic for me to like have a gender preference because like I don't know how to go about physical intimacy with a trans woman who hasn't had bottom surgery. And I guess it would
Yeah,
feel it would be a big turnoff if they still had a penis, personally, for me.
well, it's like I always say, don't knock it till you try it. But you know,
Yeah.
I will say, you know, it's like anything else, right? Like if you're really into somebody, right, and you're really vibing with them, it's like one of those things where and this is where the controversial like conversation happens, right? Because when we're talking about these very intimate conversations, right? Because this is for me, like this is a very intimate conversation to be like really slicing at like the most minute. This is why it's a thin line, right? We're slicing very close to that thin line. And so when I say, okay, you're really vibing with somebody and you're really like, oh my gosh, I'm really into this person. And your fear is, oh, I'm gonna be turned off the second they take their clothes off. I I that's why I say don't knock it till you try it situation, because it's like you may be very surprised on how you would still be attracted to their body. Because for me, I look at it in a sense of, if you're really digging the trans woman, she's a woman, like you said in the call, you do believe trans women are women, and you feel that they're a woman, then it's just another woman's body part, right? I always like to say some women have penises, some don't, right? And
Yep.
so I think, so if you are, and that's where the thin line is, right? Because it's more of a conversation you need to have internally of like, why is a body part negating my ability to kind of see her as the woman intimately that she is? And so that's kind of what you're thinking. That's the way I would think about it, is like, if I was in this situation and I was intimate with people before my transition, before bottom surgery, and I there was a there and I'm really sharing today. There was a person who was not 100% sure, was kind of like on that fence of like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be a thing. But I was just like, we'll see. And we in the intimacy, it was great, right? It was an exploratory situation for them, but it worked out, right? So for me, it's like, it's about, does the body part negate your ability to see that person as a woman, right? Because if you're a straight man and you are attracted to women and femininity, whatever body part they have shouldn't negate that feeling that you have. But if it does, it does, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I always say, don't knock it till you try it. But again, maybe that's more to ask than, that's your comfortability, that's your choice. And I think that's where the thin line is. It's your choice ultimately. And nobody's going to force you to do something that you're uncomfortable doing. Just remember that if you're vibing with a trans woman and she's like, oh, by the way, then you're kind of being like, oh yeah, I'm going to draw a line here because there's something about you I don't see attractive. And that's hurtful.
Okay.
And for some people, but they'll get over it. They'll live, but it's just one of those things. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I didn't feel a lot of need to weigh in on this because most recently with my kind of getting over internalized bigotry against myself, I'm more on the ace spectrum. Like I consider myself to be biromantic, but I'm not attracted to genitals really at all. So it's like I can give a hypothesis of what I think is the conversation, but in all honesty, like this really isn't the conversation I'm well suited for. So that's why I kind of let Josie take the lead on it. But
fair enough.
Yeah.
I would be interested in your hypothesis, though, if you would like to share.
Well, it's just similar thoughts to Josie. It's similar things to that fine line. But again, it's like I don't have the same experience because I don't want anyone to be attracted to my genitals, and I don't really want to be attracted to theirs. And so it's just like if some activity happens, it'll be very little and not as like the sexual aspect of a relationship is not important to me, and in fact I would rather a relationship where that was not a factor. So it's like I would do things for a partner possibly if I like the partner, but again, that's more of a personality thing, and I'm not making the decision based on genitals at that point anyway. So my opinion's just kind of like irrelevant in this conversation because I just don't have those feelings. So
Rain, so
I
after
appreciate
explaining
the
all to that,
perspective. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
So after giving that analysis, what are your thoughts about people in that case?
I think I feel a little bit better about it. Certainly, when you say don't knock it until you try it, that makes a lot of sense. I guess like if I try it and I still don't like it, is that still okay?
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're not, like, like if people are, on the sexual spectrum, right, and they like, in that way, then so be it, right? There's nothing you can do if you're just not attracted to somebody when in that intimacy, then it's not compatible in that relationship for that reason. But it's like one of those situations where the compatibility, like, I mean, come on, Rain. Like I bet you've had relationships with cis women that are like, oh my God, she was terrible in bed. Right. Like, and there is those situations where some people are just not great in bed and some people are amazing. And it's like one of those things. It's part of the understanding of being in a relationship with certain people. Right. And like some people may feel certain people are bad in bed and other people may think that person's incredible. Right. So it's one of those situations where it's such an intimate thing that it's kind of hard for me to judge before I have the moment with that person. And maybe that's just my openness and how I approach that type of relationship intimacy level, if that makes sense.
Oh, I think it makes a lot of sense. It sounds like tastes are a very individual thing, and therefore it makes the most sense to sort of like have this conversation with the person that you're looking to be intimate with.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, I did have a funny thought though, if you would humor me a little bit. If medicine advanced to the point where we could provide like perfect bottom and top surgery, so we would be able to provide the genitals that a person or trans person would wish for, would it then be weird to sort of like, if you're dating someone who's trans, would it be weird to ask them to have that bottom surgery if they haven't or not?
Oh, yes.
I guess how would that conversation look like?
Yeah. No, you should never tell somebody to modify their body for any reason. It's their choice. It's
that's
the
an
person's
autonomy
choice.
issue.
Yeah.
It's an autonomy issue at that point. Yeah.
Is that, yeah, you could never be
Sorry,
like,
you go.
Sorry, you wouldn't want to be with like a trans woman who's completely comfortable with her body the way it is, and then be like, "Oh, I would like to be with you if you had the thing." That would be abusive.
I agree. I guess for me, like, would it be weird to ask the question, but still sort of like respect their choice either way? If they decide not to, respect that choice.
I think it will come up
And leave it at
organically
that?
in most cases. I mean, if you're like really intimate with somebody and you are at that level, I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it up on their own. Right. And it will make you a better partner to just let the person express these feelings on their own, especially when it's their bodies. And at least that's how I felt about it before my, bottom surgery. Is essentially I would tell my partners, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about, or I'm gonna, and it's very intimate conversation, right? Like it's not something that I just want to like share to the world, right? It's something that you want to share with somebody intimately because it is an intimate part of their bodies. And if you're intimate and close to somebody, they're going to share it with you. They're going to share their thoughts and their understandings and how they feel about it, probably pretty quickly. Like it's pretty fast, at least in my opinion, at least in my understanding experience, not my opinion, my experience. Most people are very, very quick to like share that intimate information about themselves once intimacy happens.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Because yeah, it's a very intimate thing. But yeah, Rain, I like don't knock it till you try it is my thing. There is a very big difference between cis anatomy versus trans anatomy in all ways, especially on hormones as well. So there's a lot of differences that exist just because of the hormones that people take as well. So you that's why I'm just like a lot of people are very pleasantly surprised.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that's really strange. I know it's like it's a really weird conversation to have, but yeah.
It is insofar, like, I guess it sort of helps me realize that I'm relatively inexperienced in these kind of things, and I would do well
Yeah.
to keep more of an open mind.
Yeah, it's a woman's body, right? Because you said in your message that trans women are women, so their entire body is woman. So just
Hmm.
because they have that's what it is. So it's for me, even when I, pre everything, like, well, not everything, but like at least after my hormones, it was a woman's body part to me because it was mine. It was my body part as a woman. It was a woman appendage. That's what it was. And that's how it was seen to me and the people that I was with. Like that's just how it was. So it just is what it is.
Ah. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
it
where
wasn't
my
like
ignorance is showing, where I'm sort of, when I think of a woman, I think of like a more traditional cis woman. But it's like you said, like
yeah.
if you are a woman, then all parts of you belong to a woman.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And I
Yeah,
think that is
I
the
think,
block that I think a lot
yeah,
of people have to go through. And
yeah,
that's why I
that's
say it's a
definitely
fine
what I'm
line.
struggling with.
Yeah, it's a fine line, right? Because at that point, it may be internalized transphobia that you haven't uncovered yet. And that's why I think there's a lot of people in our community, the trans community as a whole. There are people in the community who say, yes, it's transphobic to have genital preferences because a lot of times there is internalized transphobia that makes people feel unattractive because the person has a different body than another person. And that's where I think a lot of people have that opinion, which is fine. It's just that certain people have to get to there first, right? And it's a long walk sometimes to get to that point because even as a trans woman myself who was raised in a conservative religious conservative household in Texas, like I had internalized transphobia myself that I had to get over as a trans woman, right? And so sometimes it's a long walk. That's why I think I have a little bit more patience than certain people, and I'm not saying everybody needs to have that patience. I'm just saying that sometimes there can be that perception of transphobia when somebody's so animately against it, right? Because if somebody is like, I have a genital preference and this is important to me because I have a genital preference, it's like, wow, you sure are talking about that a lot, right? That's you sure are thinking about that a lot. And so then it starts to raise red flags.
Yeah. So at that
Right.
point, it's sort of
So
like you're not willing to look beyond your gender preferences.
yes,
Is that what you're
exactly.
getting at?
Exactly. Well, yeah, I'm aiming at the fact that you're really focusing on somebody's body part to focus your attraction. Right? It's like I'm
Hmm.
only attracted to your body and it has to appear
Mm-hmm.
this way or I can't be attracted to you. And again, if you're a person's more than their genitals, so therefore, when the genitals trump everything else about that person, even though 100% you would date them, and then there's the one thing that just completely trumps out the fact that they can't be attractive to you anymore. It's almost like a red flag. But again, we can't force people to have sex with us.
Hmm.
So that's why I generally say it's just a red flag.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah, great. Well, thank you, Rain. and thank you for being vulnerable and having this conversation with me. It's definitely a very tough conversation to have, especially in front of over almost 1,000 people. So yeah.
I was very nervous calling in. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time. I definitely have a lot to
Absolutely.
think about, and I could definitely work on being more open-minded.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, I promise. All right,
All right,
Rain. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day.
likewise.
All right. Bye-bye.
If
I
I
feel
can
like I
So
was
it's
getting red in the face the whole time. Okay, so go ahead,
it sounds
Arden.
like
What
we
were you
do have
saying?
we have a hard stop today. It sounds like, so we'll
Yeah.
Okay.
get through a
So
couple
I
more
think
of
going
these.
forward, we're gonna try to always hit about 5 o'clock as a hard stop time. So I just want us to keep that
Okay.
in mind since we have these callers left. We might have to drop some callers
I
for
think
those of you who can
I
hear us. What
yeah, I
was that?
think we can try to get through most of them. I think we can try to get most of them. We'll just be quick.
I think we'd have to end by the latest at 4:15, so that would be 30 minutes to get through 4 calls. At the rate we're going right now, we're not going to do that, but
No, right.
just keep it in
Yeah.
mind
Okay.
as we're talking to these. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Great.
Yep.
And don't worry, callers that are on the line, we're gonna try to get to you. And if not, we'll give you a warning if we're not gonna be able to make it, and we'll make sure to call in next time.
I think in that case we just
Ben,
go down the queue then. I think we just go down the queue
is
then,
it
and then the people who, because then that way people who called in first will be more likely to get on, and then the others can maybe call back next week if we run out of time.
okay? Sounds good. So we'll go ahead
Yeah.
and take Kelly. She, her from Oregon. You're live on the line. How are you? And what would you like to talk to us about?
I'm very good. And yourself?
Good.
Doing
Good.
all right.
I feel much
Good,
better.
good.
I was a little
Yeah.
fiery earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, still there? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what would you like to
What
chat
I'd
with
like
us about?
yes, what I'd like to talk with you about is my grandson, who is a young adult. First, he came out and announced to the family that he was gay, and that was fine. You know, I was a little surprised, which to me is silly because it was so obvious when I look back. And, you know, I really didn't mind. He's still my grandson and I love him. And even though I don't tell the family about it, I'm bi, but, you know, it's been so long. I don't even have sex anymore. I don't care about things like that. But then about 6 months after that, he came out to the family and announced that actually he was a female. And that was hard to accept because I want to be have great grandchildren, and he's my only grandson.
Got it.
So it was, yeah.
So I'm gonna
and,
hold up 1 second. Kelly, I'm gonna assume if your child came out or if your child came out as trans,
Are they a trans woman?
is this is this person should be using she her pronouns for this person?
Yeah, I'm really struggling with that. I apologize. But
Okay,
my
but
grandson.
with regard to the reproductive issue, so I understand that there's a lot of grief that can happen with expectations that you have for people's kind of trajectory in their lives, and ultimately kind of the thing that really matters is the other person's happiness, right? Like it's okay to feel emotions, it's okay to feel like what you're going to feel. You can't control your feelings. But for one thing, this person sounds like, they're happy coming out as who they are. But I want to also mention that just because someone comes out as trans doesn't mean that they're not going to have children.
Right.
That's kind of a misconception. And in fact, there are a lot of people, even trans people, who date other trans people and they have their own biological children. It's just the parent that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be carrying the child. There are trans men who will carry a pregnancy to term and they'll stop testosterone throughout that time. So just because you come out as trans doesn't mean that you're not going to have children. But something that's important to think about is that even if your child or your grandchild, anyone who you're thinking about, is like, even if they weren't trans, even if they weren't gay, they still could have, you could still have the possibility that they wouldn't have children either. Do you think you'd have the
Right.
same, do you think you'd have the same struggles if you had a cisgender child that said that they're not going to have children?
As a matter of fact, when I was on hold, I was thinking about that very question. And the answer is yes. I would be sad if they made that decision. So that's something to think about definitely, is just life takes us down different tributaries, and I never was guaranteed great-grandchildren. And so may I make a comment about something said?
Yep.
Yeah, you were saying, but the important thing is that they're happy. And certainly, more than anything, I want my grandson to be happy and all that. But at the same time, there's another voice in me, if you will, that is saying, what about duty? What about adding to the genetic family line?
Well, Kelly, that's some misogynistic bullshit that you were taught probably when you grew up. Do you think that all women should have to have children for the genetic line, or do you think that women should have the right to choose what they're going to do with their bodies? Like, even not even going into an abortion conversation, but do you think that women should be allowed to say that they don't want to be homemakers?
I come from a very misogynistic and patriarchal Christian raising background, so I think the answer is affirmative in all of that you're talking about, and the only reason
so this is an opportunity to help your grandchild branch out and not have to be oppressed like you were in your family. This is a place to end that cycle of abuse, and it's I empathize with your emotions in this, and I think you're okay to have these feelings, but think about some of these emotions maybe coming from a place of trauma for you, and a place of feeling like you had to do certain things in order to be valued as a woman. And this is a time where you can take ownership of some of your responsibility going forward and say, hey, this is my family member. This is my granddaughter who I love so much, and I don't want her to have to go through what I did. Like, and that's your time to say, hey, this is your life, and you get to make what you want of it.
Okay.
So Kelly, can I share something? Can I share something? I want to share something personal here. So, I was also born in a very.
Is this Josie?
This is Josie
or Dr.? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
This is Josie. Yeah. So,
Yes.
I just want to say, I want to share something fairly personal. So, I was also raised in a Catholic, conservative, household, and a Latino one at that. So, I was the firstborn male in my family, right? And I carried the name. I had the third on my moniker when my whole name was, and my grandfather would always be, you're going to bring in the fourth, you're going to bring in the fourth. And I always had that in the back of my mind, no matter what. So when I finally came out as trans, the Caballero side of my family essentially disowned me. I don't speak to my biological father anymore, my grandfather anymore, my aunt in that side of the family, and I have very, very little conversational conversation or communication with my Caballero side of the family. I do have a few cousins and an uncle that does speak to me, which is good, but most of them are gone. And it was based inside of that you need to provide grandchildren to put the legacy and the name forward. And it was so awful that they decided to remove the love that they had for me and completely pretend that I no longer existed for their own benefit and not my own. And I will tell you, my grandmother on my mom's side of the family, people my mom and my family, they were like, "Don't tell her that you're trans because if you do, she would have a heart attack and then it'll be on you." And the shame of Catholicism is very real. But basically, I was like, I'm not going to kill my abuela. That's not going to happen. But she ended up finding out, and she started calling me, and she was like, "Actually, it's okay that you want to be a girl," and she accepted me for who I was, and that love from her as my grandmother meant more to me than any type of legacy, any type of name, any type of anything, because in reality, it was the love of my grandmother that made me happy. There was nothing else inside of that, outside of the love of my grandmother. So think about it from that point of view for your granddaughter. Your granddaughter wants your love and trusted you enough to come out to you to tell you who she is. And she's asking for you to love her. And if you give her that love, she will continue to stay in your life. And if she does decide to have children, regardless if it's an adopted child or it's a child through whatever means, that child is going to love their great grandmother. It doesn't matter about biology. It doesn't matter about any of that. It's about family. It's about being together. Regardless of where we come from, being a part of a family is something special. And you have a choice, Kelly. You have a choice. Your choice is you either accept your granddaughter the way she wants to be accepted, or you have a possibility of losing her forever. And I feel that would be more hurtful at the end of the day, of losing your grandchild's love because you won't just accept that they are who they are. And that's something that you have to think about, because is your granddaughter, your grandchild's life in front of you right now more important than the hypothetical grandchildren that is going to come in later? And at the end of the day, I think you probably want the love of your grandchild. And the best way to do that is accept them and love them with your whole heart. And that is going to make them the happiest. And if you want a happy granddaughter, that's what you got to do. And that's what we have to do as elders, as adults. We're supposed to love the ones that we bring into this world, regardless of how they show up.
Yeah.
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 So just think about it, okay, Kelly? I think you have a good heart. I think you actually do care. And you wouldn't be calling this show if you didn't have this conflict in your mind of like, you just want to love your grandchild. And look, just because they're trans does not mean they're not going to raise a child into a beautiful human. There's a lot of trans people that adopt kids and raise beautiful children that didn't get a good chance in life. They foster or they'll adopt, and they'll take care of kids and give them a loving home, and they're going to get a loving home because you raise your grandkids good, and they'll have a good home and with that is filled with love. And showing them that love will do it, okay?
Yeah, I know you have a few other calls on the line, so
yeah,
I'll just
for sure.
call back.
Okay, call back and let us know, okay? You have a great rest of your day.
All right.
All right. Bye. Aw, Grandma wants
Josie,
love.
Josie, the motivational speaker, comes out during the show.
Real quick, callers, if you can hear me, you should be able to hear me. I think we might have to drop Emma, since we only have 15 minutes left before we need to get on to Superchats. So
Okay.
We might be able to go to 420 if we do like 10 minutes on each, but we have to be very conscientious of the time.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right.
Gotcha.
Sounds good. We'll go ahead and go to Sharon, her from Illinois. You are live on the line, wanting to speak about your boyfriend. So yeah, what would you like to talk to us about? Hello, Sharon. If your phone's asleep, wake it up. Sometimes it takes a second for you to log in. If you're calling on the web browser, wake up your phone. Hello, Sharon. Oh, if we don't hear from Sharon, I'm going to have to drop you. We're going to have to ask you to call back next week.
How about now?
All right. Oh, yes.
Oh, there we go.
Is it
Lucky.
working
I was
now?
about to
There we
click
go.
it. Yes, it does. Yes.
No, I had to come
You almost
outside.
lost
I'm
it.
sorry. I wasn't getting service in the house.
It's okay. Yeah. So what would you like to talk to us about?
Yes, I just wanted to call because my 19-year-old, they don't live with me, but they are non-binary, and my boyfriend of 12 years will not respect their pronouns, their correct pronouns, or their preferred name. And I'm not sure how to handle the situation. Now, he's not rude to my child, but anytime I'm talking about them, he like grunts and rolls his eyes and is kind of hateful.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
That's
but
hard.
this is a huge red flag for this partner, and maybe he's not a good partner. Like it just sounds
Yeah.
like there's a red flag for not wanting to respect other people, and I can't imagine that if he's willing to treat your child like that he's gonna entirely treat you with respect either. So
Yeah.
And you
That's
said this is a
kind of
boyfriend
what's
of
been on my
12 years?
mind. Yes, we've been together for
Did you
12
say
years.
ugh. Sharon, that's a hard one because, like, think about it. Like, what if it was another situation? Like your kid was like, they got a job and they wanted to be an actor or singer, and they would also be like, "Oh, there's whatever." That would be really hurtful, wouldn't it? Regardless of gender
Yes.
identity, they should respect your kid.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's harsh. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's just our son is 8, and he has been telling me how he wants to be a boy and a girl. So we've been playing with makeup,
Aw.
and we went shopping, but I haven't told his dad yet that either. I kind of feel maybe afraid of how he's going to react because of how he's been treating my other child.
Yeah, that's hard,
So
that's
maybe
more
you're right, a big red
complicated.
flag.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
red flags, and all you're doing is letting your kid discover themselves, right? Like
That's
it's
what's
anything
important,
else.
yeah.
Like it's what's important, right? Like it's not we as parents, we as, adults should never be putting kids into these boxes. Like the most beautiful thing about, raising a child is discovering who they are, right? And who they become, and just allowing them to kind of explore and be the humans that they are. That's the beauty of parenting, in my opinion. And so if somebody's trying to restrict that, then is that love at that point, right? And it's really hard to kind of like think about that like in that way. And I think what your gut is telling you, don't you?
I do. I've been
Yeah.
ignoring it, but yeah, I've got
Yeah, because I can
Yeah.
hear it in your voice. I can hear
Yep.
it. You're just like, "Oh my gosh, like, what do I do?" And it's like, "Girl, like, it doesn't sound nice. It sounds like you are stepping on eggshells for the sake of your child's identity." And that is something that there's so many better people out there in the world. I don't want to tell you what you should and shouldn't do with your relationship, but there's some good loving men out there that will love your child because they love you. You know what I mean? Like-
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm sorry that you're dealing with
Oh no,
this,
don't be
but I'm
sorry.
glad.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you are on the side of your kid. I mean, that's the most important thing because
Always.
I've
Yeah.
seen it go the other way. I've seen it go the other way,
Yeah.
and that's scary, right? Where a parent will
Yeah.
be like, "Well, I'm okay to put my kid in a box as long as so and so likes me. And I'm like, so it sounds like you are you know what's
props
up.
to you. Props to you for letting your kids be your kids. But yeah.
I just want them to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
thank y'all for taking my call and for talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. I know it's short and sweet, but I figure you already know what the answer is.
I do. I really do.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess
All
I
right,
just needed
Sharon.
a little help.
Yeah. I get the vibe right off the call, Sharon. I knew that you already knew, but I'm here for you. I support whatever you have to do.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a
All
great
right,
day.
much love. You too. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, it looks like we might be able to take Emma after all. That's so let's
do
go
it.
ahead and
Let's
take
do
this
it.
really quick. All right. Hello, Emma. Her from Illinois. You're live on the line. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Doing well.
Doing
I'm
great.
glad that we got to get to you. So, what do you want to talk to us about?
The joy of completing my transition.
Okay.
I crossed
all right.
I crossed my finish line last week when I had bottom surgery. So,
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
I'm just completely basking in that, and I just wanted to thank you guys because you guys have gotten me there when I got into the places where I didn't think I was actually going to get there. Watching you guys on TACIS, where it was like having my own cheerleading team. And I love you all for
Absolutely.
that.
Aw, and the chat
So,
is just lighting you up with a lot of love. You know,
Yeah.
and this is why we do it. I know the spicy calls get us the clicks and you know the views, but honestly, I do enjoy these calls as well because it really helps us put a balance on it because you know, I'm just so happy that you're able to get the care that you need and also share the joy is so important more than in our community more than ever right now is that despite the world burning around us, we are still able to find that light throughout all of the darkness. And so stories like this really make me feel better and help me fight through the day as well. So no, thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
yeah.
and for all those transphobes out there who think that trans people are all just mentally ill and just all sad all the time. Well, no. No, here's an example of some trans joy. And so the people need to hear of the good things too. They need to hear that we're doing okay. At least on an individual level. A few of us are. Or a few of us are doing okay. Not everyone's doing okay. But a few of us are doing okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing
Yeah.
and make sure you rest and recover well. And you'll sooner or later 3 years go by and you're just like, oh, I'm so glad it's over with. That's how I feel about mine. I was just like, oh, you know, it's like I'm happy I did it, but I would never do it again. Thank goodness I don't have to.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you're wonderful. Is there any last words you want to share before we have to let you go?
Just that for anyone out there, you just got to stick with it. I started the journey, the actual transition journey at 48. I spent 48 years in the closet, and there's nothing like the feeling of finally coming true to yourself and doing what you need to do to get where you need to be. It's like climbing Mount Everest because you've completed it. Nobody could do it but me. And I love that. And I'm out there for anybody who's going through it. I love you all. And I believe in you.
Thank you, Emma. And thank you for showing that it's never too late. It's never too late.
Mhm.
whenever it's your time, and that's how it goes. So
Exactly.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you,
you.
Emma.
Well, with that, we'll go ahead and let you go. You rest and you recover. You'll be on your feet in no time. All right. Talk to you later.
Every day. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Emma.
All right. Bye. All right. Well, look at that. We got through all the calls. Arden, don't tell me what I can't do. All right. I can do it. We can make it happen. All right. I don't want to drop callers.
Don't tell me what I can't do always makes me instantly think of Lost. If any of you have watched Lost, that's where my brain goes when I hear that quote.
I know. I just watched Lost recently again, just as well. So I know you did too. So, anyways. All right. So remember,
super chat time.
$5 super chats will get read. Hashtag Team Josie.
What's our loser
hashtag
poll
Ben.
right now?
Oh, what is our loser poll?
Make bathrooms their own states.
Bathrooms
is winning.
their own state. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes. All right. $5 super chats or more will be read by all the hosting calls.
Oops.
So I'm going to count that as a super chat. So
that was my test.
There you go.
Yeah, that was your test.
The
test one.
There we go.
All right.
$5 from Joshua Everett. Yeah. $5 from Joshua Everett. Good afternoon. I got sick earlier this week and spent the day in bed explaining the diffs between gender and sex to people on threads. Hashtag Team Josie. Hey, I mean, if you don't have to, but if you want to debate people while you're sick, I mean, all the power to you, Joshua.
Yeah. Winning the fight one thread at a time. $5 Australian from Charlotte C. ID will be brought into Australia this year. My phone stopped recognizing my face after 4 months on HRT. Been emailing local polys to reconsider. Oh, okay. So ID will be brought into. Interesting. I don't know what that specifically means, but I do remember the time I was like, well, I wonder when my phone's going to stop recognizing me. It's always a good feeling when it can't.
It's great. $4.99 from June Bramley. I finally got my ass in gear, and so I'm starting voice training tomorrow. I'm so damn excited. Hashtag Team Rock, Paper, Scissors. Oh, we got to do this. Okay.
All right, ready? You'll count it out.
Yep. I have to count it out?
Okay. Yeah, you count it out.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I got you.
Oh, God damn it. I always lose. But it's a game of chance, so it's whatever.
It is a game of chance.
So
$4.99 from June Bramley. Also a hashtag Team Arden, even though she's not on right now because she saved the stream last night. She is on, but you can give her a spirit vote.
It was very impressive. I have to give myself props for saving that stream. It was great. I'm amazing. Although
sounds like June is giving you props.
It did unfortunately cut the ending, the best possible ending to a call. Didn't make it out to stream, so much so that when we explained the ending afterwards, I was like, this sounds fake. It sounds like we're lying. And then actually it really ended terribly and we crashed it on purpose because the ending was so diametrically opposed to the tone of like the last bit of the call. But it really did end that well. It really did.
10 Canadian from Alone in WPG. Is that Alone in Winnipeg? I don't know. I voted yes on the question, but that's just such an American question. Not just government workers should be funded. In Manitoba, Canada, the government covers a lot of gender affirming care, including hormones. Yeah. We should, take Canada's lead on that. We should change our whole system.
$5 Ron Bucks from Edis. Wouldn't non-sexual sports categories based on hormone categories fix this generally? What do you? I guess would non-sexual sports categories based on hormones? It's kind of like that already.
Not even. Yeah. Don't even base on the hormones. Just base it on the factors we mentioned. Like depending on the sport.
I mean,
but.
It's like it's the professional sporting teams should make those decisions. But I guess
Yeah.
I'm still kind of I don't know. That's kind of where I sit on it.
$5 from
$5 from
Joshua
oh, you
Everett.
got you.
You just want to read all
You.
of them. Josie wants to read all of them.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
Andrew,
sorry.
name 2 currently competing women in sports that you are worried about being unfairly competed against. You actually don't care about this. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the way it works most of the time. Most people can only name like Riley Gaines and like nobody else
Leah
in the
Thomas.
conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Riley Gaines fighting Leah Thomas. I would love to see Andrew fucking take on Brianna Tark. Like, fucking try. Your fucking head would get
Right,
crushed.
and
Like,
like
it's just like,
yeah, no, and even like swimming, like I dare any man to take on Katie Ledecky in
oh
swimming.
God. Yeah.
Like
Arguably the
I
best
dare
swimmer.
you. I
Yeah,
dare you.
exactly. $5 from Melatonin Alley. I used to compete in BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I could hold my own against men who had 30 pounds on me, who trained casually, and I tapped tapped one out once. Hashtag Team Josie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep kicking
Yeah, that's how
ass.
jujitsu works. Well, and the thing too with jujitsu is like jujitsu and even other grappling sports, the whole point is to even the playing field more for smaller people. Like the whole point is that technique is going to outweigh anything else. And really the only other thing going for that is size. But even size can be overcome by experience. So
Yep. A little
any
bit of
arguments
leverage
against
and
trans
good to go.
people in those sports does not work. $4.99 from Godless Engineer. Wrestling move Dunning Kruger. Pile drive a dumbass into the mat after them being overconfident about their skill because they got a D. Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
go to like there used to be a whole trend. I mean, it's probably still there of people just like randomly challenging people in MMA fights and stuff. But there's one where some guy who's not at all trained in MMA decided he actually would take up a challenge to go fight this professional MMA fighter. And there's a video out there of him getting his ass beat by this woman, and it's great.
I
I'm
love it.
happy he actually took the challenge, but it did not demonstrate the point he had hoped to make. So
Matt and I have actually
No,
watched a few
no.
of those. They come up in our algorithm and it'll be like, oh, 10 times a man thought he could beat a woman and got his ass handed to him. And it's just like a compilation of
love
like
it.
10 instances of that. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And these aren't
Yeah.
like weak guys. They're muscular. They're just not trained.
Yeah.
And so they get their ass
That's-
kicked.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Team Bed needs some votes, people. Come on.
Team Josie, keep holding strong. $5 from Alishana Silverbow. I bet Andrew watches Natasha Romanoff in Marvel movies and thinks I could take her. This is fantasy. It's not real.
$5 from Kelly, Detroit Atheist Queen King. I think I met you this past weekend. Being an ex-wrestler at times, I had wrestlers. I'm like jumbling over my words. Being an ex-wrestler, at times I had wrestler cis men because we were equal in class and weight. And guess what? I won and lost some of those matches. Yeah, like it's pretty equal. Like when you get people of similar skill and size together, it's not always a easy thing to guess who's going to win. Like either one of you could win at that point.
Some people actually think testosterone is equal to steroids. Like they
Right?
think it's steroids.
It's not. Yeah.
Like it's just like it's not steroids. It's just testosterone. Like it's just
Yeah, like the
$5.
anabolic steroids that people worry about is like the potency is far higher than regular testosterone.
Yeah, exactly. $5 from Kelly, Detroit Atheist Queen King. I was rushing when I sent the last super chat and realized my grammar was awful. It's okay. We didn't notice until you said that.
You're good,
so.
Kelly. £5 from Harder Gamer. I found it very funny that Andrew would demolish the likes of Zhang Weili or Amanda Nunes. Yeah, Amanda Nunes could take any of these fucking guys. Like, I would not step in the ring with Amanda Nunes. And they alone are under 55 kilograms, let alone Kayla Harrison at 70 plus. Yeah, these people, I think I call bullshit anytime someone like these are the armchair quarterbacks who like they sit at the bar, like know nothing of the sport and are like, yeah, these like those are also people that show up there and they're like, I could beat this person. Also, get them to stand up. I don't like when they're on the ground. It's all those people. That's who I think of.
Yeah. I see you in chat saying that I misspoke and I said Star Wars instead of steroids. I see you. You guys are just too sharp.
Testosterone is not Star Wars.
Damn it. That's why I didn't want it. I'm gonna eat that. Anyways, $4.99 from Cindy. Privileges for me, not for thee.
Yep. Star Wars for me, but not for thee.
Yes,
Only,
exactly.
Yeah, testosterone is not Star Wars. Therefore, trans women are the only ones. Trans women and cis women are the only ones that get Star Wars.
That's right.
Only women get Star Wars. There you go.
See, now you know why I'm trans. There you go. You figured it out.
It was for Star Wars. $5 from Madeline. Last time watching TACIS from the USA. Hashtag Team Josie. Hell yeah, get out of here.
Oh, Madeline.
Go somewhere better.
I love Madeline.
So
Hey, you know what's
jealous.
funny? Madeline made this for me. Like, look at this. Look at this work.
That's
like,
cool.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Wow.
Like, she probably wasn't expecting that
Incredible.
I'd pull this out. But yeah, like straight up, like Love Nest OG from my Twitch days. Love you, girl. 1999 from Narcissa, just turning in immediate hearing Bigot Jane. Yeah. Just tune in immediately hearing Bigot Jane. I'm sorry that you had to do that. I'm sorry for the brain cells that you lost. Cannot get those back.
Team Ben needs more votes, y'all. We need to get on the board. Also, Star Wars is for women should be a great debate thing for next time.
Is that a new debate team? Like
it should be
a new TACIS shirt. Star Wars is
for women. 5 Canadian from Reverend Nate. Why is it that some folks think that if they keep running their dick liquor, they'll bulldoze people into conceding a point? Monad doesn't approve, Jane. Oh my God, we're back on the monad. I still need to go back and watch that episode with the monad. It was
the
a whole
monad
thing
is everything and nothing. It is infinity and nothing at the same time. It's everywhere. We will never be rid of the monad.
Is that the line God? Is that the answer? Monad is the God that we all are afraid of? I don't know.
Because everything's divisible by 1 except for 0, which is like infinity next to 0. 1 is, you know. And that makes it God.
TLDR, they let a caller in like stupid late at night when Forrest was on, and that a person who believes in the monad call. That's at least all I know about it.
Chat paid $500. Actually, it was a $500 goal. I think they paid like $800 in actuality to get the one caller left, and it was the most ridiculous caller with the most dumbass fucking shit you've ever heard in your whole life.
Wow, that's great. $10 from Fiona. I feel sorry for Andrew only wanting to meet women in order to reproduce. He must be really bad at loving. You're both great. Hashtag Team Maryland. Let's go. Hashtag that blue crab and the no wire, no the pit. Hashtag Team Take Our Country Back. Yes, absolutely. Also, make sure if you haven't been to josieformaryland.com, go there, donate. We need every donation. We're destroying all expectations because of the line and TACIS.
Here's
TACIS followers.
$4.99 from Coffee Mom. I get some spicy calls for my birthday. 43 years old today. Happy birthday. Feels great to be back in my prime. Hashtag Team Dr. Ben. Hashtag universal healthcare for everyone. Yes, and thank you for your vote.
Yeah, and somebody says avoid Disney Star Wars. Don't avoid Andor. Watch Andor, and thank me later. 10 pounds from Barbara Barrett. Antis are weird. Antis?
I think antis.
Antis, yeah. That's true, they are weird.
They're weird. They're so weird. 5 pounds from Mystic Minds Analysis Tavern. Hollow Knight Silk Song finally has a release date, September 4th, proving miracles do happen. We will win trans rights. Hashtag trans rights forever. Nice. Cool.
Love it. $5 Canadian from Reverend Nate. Jane placed dead last in the oppression Olympics. She even lost to the ray gun lady. Yeah, that's fair. Whew. Man, oh my gosh. Talk about just trying to find an enemy to blame your whole life's problems on. Jesus.
Yeah, for real.
It's like that trans person got healthcare. It's not fair. $5 from
That's
Malatone. Oh, is that me? Go for it. Sorry. Go for it.
It just wants to read all of them. $5 from
Yeah.
Melatonin Ale just for having to deal with a bigot whiner like Jane. Of course they didn't get pronouns. Jane can go pound sand. Yeah. Go pound sand.
Also, FYI, our
Yeah.
screener had to put in like a whole note that she got super triggered over the pronoun question. So like
Oh
we
my
didn't even really
God.
get to see that side of her. Like
I know.
I genuinely
It could've
think she
been
was just
great.
waiting for an opportunity to be like, oh, I misgendered them. Oh my God, clip it, everybody. We're so naughty. We're so bad.
Yeah. I was ready to go to town, but Ben got all the good hits. 1999 from Starfry. Dr. Ben is more of a man than I was pre-transition, and I'm on active duty. Sorry, had to endure that. Hashtag Team Ben. Agreed.
Thank you so much.
Agreed. Yeah, I would rather be called a trick than what happened.
I'm going to say something that's not at all controversial in this. I'm way more of a man than Josie, so
That's
there
true.
you go.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, she won't even
really,
deny it.
really going with those controversial topics, huh?
Yeah, right.
I think it's me. $5 from Sabrashi. How do I tell my boyfriend of 12 years that our son says he's a boy?
This is a caller.
Oh, this was a caller. Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah.
And whenever he wants to be his dad, does not feel the same. Yeah.
Yes.
We got to the solution to that problem.
Yep. $5 from Kelly, Detroit Atheist Queen King. Here's another 5 because I forgot hashtag Team Ben. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it.
That's fair.
We're getting there.
Don't sleep on it, Team Josie. $5 from Canadian dollars from Reverend Nate. In words of the immortal prophet Leonard L. Kravitz, we've got to let love rule. Yes, exactly. Good old Lenny Kravitz.
$6.66 from Hell's Bells. Hashtag Team All the Genitals. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All genitals are great.
They are.
We probably have time for some more super chats at the rate we're going now. So if you guys want to get a few extra in to make this competitive, start sending in your supers.
Ooh. Send your super chats.
Yep. $5 Canadian from Veeks. I hope Jane has the life she deserves. Yeah, I hope so too.
$5 from Andy Hunter. Hashtag Team Josie. Thanks for being here and doing what you do. What are y'all's favorite spicy foods? Because you can obviously handle it. I fucking love spicy food. I love all spicy food. The spicy challenge, the spicy ramen challenge is honestly my favorite spicy food, and I hate that I love it so much.
Oh, interesting. I do like a spicy it's interesting. I like spicy like pad thai, but I also like a really spicy hot sauce. Like it's just
Yes.
like for dipping, like, you know, I it's like for chips, it's like when they put a spicy like salsa on the table with chips, I'm just like, I'm gonna eat this whole thing. I'm just gonna keep on eating. Just keep on bringing the chips. Come on, let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
5 pounds from Barbara Barrett. I did it all pre-op, but I wasn't until I was inside the right body post-op that I really got to explore my sexuality. Yeah, exactly. It's great. I'm very happy for you.
$5 from Clippy, NB Andy. I love that you have the little Clippy emote.
Yeah.
I'm trans mask and I'm obese. Should I get weight loss meds first or get chest reduction surgery? I'm J cup and it does cause back pain. This is a nuanced discussion and you should talk to your provider about it. My recommendation is if you are looking to go down the path of like medication for weight loss or surgery for that, I'd recommend you do that first, just because the weight loss will impact what your top surgery looks like. So, but I think talk to your doctors and kind of see what their options are for you. But that would just be like my 2 cents on that.
$6.99 Canadian from Sarah Strandring. I share your content when when appropriate. Sorry, there's like a weird spacing there. With my 10-year-old kid, she's a trans advocate at the age of 10. Thanks for all you do. Aw, that's sweet.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry to be
Yeah,
annoying about the
thank you.
time. Somebody in the chat was making jokes. They were like, "I like how we didn't have time before. Now we have too much time," and they're just being silly. It's fine. But also, part of the
Yeah.
reason is because I expected both of those last calls to be like 15 minutes, like every other call, and the last ones were each like 5 minutes each. So now that left
Yeah.
me with way more time than I expected us to have. So that's why I'm like, oh, we only have like 10 more super chats, and
you
we got to
cursed
get
the
to
stream.
5 o'clock. So
You cursed the
figure
stream,
it out,
Martin.
chat.
You did this.
I am.
Yeah.
I've been told I am a witch. I do curse things inadvertently.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Is this me or
I think
999
so.
from JW Edgy? Some of my family members melted down, but when I got a vasectomy, before I had any understanding of trans people at all, I've doubled down on not making kids with estrogen. LOL. Hashtag Team Ben. There you go.
Yeah. $9.99 from June Bramley. Josie Caballero, first of her name. Long may she reign. Hashtag Team Josie. That speech to Kelly was wonderful. Aw, thank you.
It was wonderful. Yeah, it was really good.
I appreciate it. Thanks. It was a good one. It was sweet. It was, yeah. I'm glad I got to have that conversation.
5 pounds from Jessica
Espion
Doo-Doo
sucks.
Big Buttface. 5 monads for the woke atheist cult echo chamber. Also, Arden, I'll happily do your editing for you if you want. Hashtag Team Zerba. Hashtag Team Josie. Hashtag Espion sucks. And I wanted to take a moment and tell you all that my favorite Pokemon is Labubu. Do with that what you will.
How dare you?
I'm gonna get me a
dare you.
Labubu. I'm gonna get a Labubu, and I'm gonna show back up here with a Labubu, and it's my favorite Pokemon. So there you go.
Yeah, Ben showed me Labubu Pokemon this weekend, and I was like, wow, that's a really cool Pokemon. That might be my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, y'all don't remember? Y'all don't remember Labubu is one of those initial Pokemon that got like deleted somehow. I'm not the problem. You're the problem. Anyway.
No, you are the problem in all problems. 5 pounds from Barbara Barrett. Emma, it is only gets better. I am 71. Aw, that's really sweet too. Love our elders. Let's go. Even though I'm considered an elder.
$10 from Legally Mod. I'm 12 days for my BA, which I love calling my boob job. I know you're not supposed to call it that, but I grew up in the 90s, and it gives me such a thrill to say I'm getting a boob job. You know what? If it's affirming to you to call it a boob job, like it's no one else's business what you're going to call your
get that boob job, girl. Honestly, if I were to get top surgery, I would call it a boob job at this point. Like, it's not something I've done, but if I were, that's what I would call it. 90s kid here. Sorry. €5 from Lazy Dragon. Trans flag. My therapist will not write me a letter for HRT because I'm not out enough people. What? To people? Oh my god. Hello, I'm Sarah and I'm MTF. Hashtag Team Ben. Get a new therapist.
Yeah.
Definitely. You can do that. You can get a second opinion. It is
Yeah,
allowed.
absolutely do.
Yeah. Ugh, I'm sorry you're dealing with that.
$5 from Mira G. Oh dear, did I really miss the live show? I'll have to watch back. I love y'all so much. I hope you're doing well. Hashtag Team Ben pity vote. Thank you. I appreciate your pity vote. I'm gonna get more pity. Well, I mean, less votes, maybe some more pity votes for people thinking I'm just not cool enough to know Pokemon.
Yeah. £5 from Harder Gamer. Princess Leia from Star Wars would kick Andrew's ass. Absolutely. Hashtag Team Ben twice, as I forgot to add him before. Can't get it twice. Just can't.
But I get one. I get one.
You do get one, and you're
Team
tied.
Labubu.
So Team Josie is the right answer here, everybody. Remember that. There
Team
is a right
Labubu
answer.
is may win. $5 from Mira G. So glad Jovan and Arden defeated all transphobes today. Now we need universal healthcare. Hashtag Team Dr. Ben is best healthcare. I appreciate y'all's endorsement, even though y'all haven't even seen like if I can do my job in clinic or not, but it's fine.
Yeah. See, I knew this was gonna happen. Team Josie, you gotta wake up. All right, $5 from a Cringe. As someone from New Jersey, I do not claim Andrew. Hashtag Team Ben. Yeah, no one should claim Andrew. Okay,
Yeah.
Andrew's gonna get his ass kicked by a woman he looks at the wrong way soon.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure.
I'm loving this sleeper.
He's gonna be on one
for
of those.
Ben.
He's gonna be one of those.
Yes.
He's gonna be one of those videos that Arden watches. Him going into the ring
Oh,
and UFC
no.
fight.
I would
it's
pay
my
so much
turn.
money to watch that video specifically. Actually, I think Andrew
know.
is a decent caller. I would like to talk to him more because I feel like he actually engages a little bit. But
I think so too.
I will say, if he's gonna say some shit like that, I would pay good money to watch him fight a professional athlete. Really
I
good
would
money.
too. Yeah. Has to be wrestling though. Has to be wrestling. $20 from Mr. Barikwa 10.
Oh, if you want it.
Go for
if
it.
you want this
No,
one.
I do not. I do not want this.
How
Ben,
does it
did you
feel,
watch
Mr.
last week?
Boricua? Ticket us.
Did you watch last week, Ben, when
didn't.
Josie tried to do one?
I
It
didn't
was
watch last
really
week.
entertaining.
No, I
I
didn't.
lost brain cells, okay? Like, that was it.
Mr. Boricua, how does it feel to be the super chat nobody wants to read? $20 for Mr. Boricua 10. Missed the show today. Hope it was a good one. I was busy at work and never had a chance to get a bit of a break. And I sort of forgot that today is Thursday. Here's a bit of money for me, transgressions. Hashtag Dr. Ben. It'd be even funnier if this was on a Tuesday, so we could say Tuesday. A Tuesday.
How can you do that? I can't do it. It's like my brain doesn't work this way. Like, it just like my brain
I want you to do it so
short
bad.
circuits.
I want you to do
No.
it so bad.
You
Come
can't.
on.
No.
Come on.
It's a Dr. Ben. Maybe if it was hashtag Josie, but
I
it's
already
not.
read it.
So you know what? I'm not gonna do it.
I think that should be another vote for me because I don't think it got added yet.
I know. No, I did add it at the beginning, but oh wait,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
you're right.
okay.
You're right.
No,
You already had
10.
two
I should
before
be
that.
10.
Yeah.
$5 from Agent 87. Transphobes should disclose up front about whether or not they would date a trans person instead of deceiving us. Facts. That is
Yes,
something that
right.
needs to be disclosed. Like,
Yes.
and all you Team Josie
100%.
people that haven't voted yet, if you haven't, you better at least do this, or you better donate to my campaign. I'll accept either.
Oops. We missed a few $9.99 super chats because they got
JosieFromMaryland.com.
sorted differently. So we're gonna go back and do a
Oh,
few of
did
these
they?
first.
Okay. 1999 from
$19.99 from Narcissa. Great show. Thank you. Congrats, Emma. Yeah, congrats to Emma again. And
Yeah,
thank you for the
congrats,
super chat,
Emma.
Narcissa.
$9.99 from Daniel. Missed the show today. Gonna watch the replay. Hashtag Team Dr. Ben. Yeah, be careful. The first part is a
yeah.
little spicy, so you better have a
Yeah.
burn unit
I met
ready.
Daniel in person recently too, so I met a few people in the side chat recently. It's been fun. $4.99 from June Bramley. The Monad call was the best $800 we chatters ever spent. Hashtag Team Monad. See, I still need to go back and watch it because it just
Yeah.
just sounds
Anyway,
great.
back to the Monad.
Back to
Yeah.
the Monad.
Forrest always creates fan favorites. It's really interesting. Zorba, now it's the Monad. What next? $5 from Agent 87. Oop, forgot. Hashtag Team Josie, let's go.
Thank you, chat, for giving her some pity votes. I know she's falling really far behind.
Yeah, she needs pity votes now.
Wow.
Team
You're gonna let
Labubu
this
forever.
You're gonna let this Labubu claiming Pokemon lover get one up on all of you?
$5 from Haley G. I don't really have anything to say, but here's $5 to help you get to the next show. Hashtag Team Ben. Thank you. Hashtag Team Labubu. Let's go. Let's go, Labubu. You know, you can get boobs for your Labubu.
Oh, really?
It's a thing.
Labubu
I didn't know that.
Or Labubu boobs.
Labubu.
Whatever you prefer.
Oh my gosh. I know
My
you
Labubu
are.
has its Labubu boobs. It's like, did you guys ever watch the show? I don't remember anything about it, but it was back in like the early 2000s. There was an anime called Bobobo. And I just remember the ads where they just really played up saying Bobobo. And that's what Labubu feels like to me.
Oh
It
my
does.
gosh.
Yeah.
$5 from Joshua Everett. Seeing what the option is, I kind of want to see Josie defend it. So hashtag Team Ben. I see how it goes. See how it goes.
They just want you to talk more. Team Josie is like, oh, if I vote for Ben, then Josie talks more.
They want me to make a political argument for the bathroom states. That's what they want.
Yeah. £5 from Harder Gamer. Hashtag Team Ben. Let's go, Labubu.
$19.99 from Kelly Schreier. Yeah, Schreier. Thanks for the talk. I am struggling long and also deconstructing. By the way, I'm a hot, sexy grandma who has never heard someone call her grandson a granddaughter before. Please be patient with Grandma Kelly. Hey, I understand that I have a lot of patience because I know deep down inside Kelly loves her grandkid. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
I just love the inclusion of calling herself hot and sexy in there. You go, Kelly.
I do.
You're right.
Get
You
it,
go,
queen.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it so much.
$5 from Legally Mod. Mr. B's super chats are why Katie won't come back to TACIS. Hashtag Team 90s kid. Hashtag Team 34. That's probably true,
That's me.
Though. It's
I am Team 34 for sure. $10 from Braxton. Hashtag Team Labubu. Hashtag Team Ben. I love you guys.
Yes.
Keep up the amazing work.
Team Labubu.
I learned about a Labubu the first time was from my 8-year-old niece. Okay. I was like, what's that? And she's like, it's a Labubu. Why don't you know what that is? And I'm like, okay, geez.
Hey, in all fairness, I have a long Furby in my closet in the hallway, which you don't even want to know.
Who read this one? Who reads the next one?
I read the next one.
I read the next one.
I trust Ben more than you,
you
Josie.
should.
I'm sorry.
No, Ben.
on this matter.
Ben does.
Oh no.
Ben does read the next one.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be another Mr. Borico one.
No, the
$5
next
from
one
Harder
probably
Gamer.
is.
Yeah, $5 from Harder Gamer. I love these beat offs. Hashtag Team Ben. Yeah, I'm sure the next one is Mr. Boricua.
I bet it is. Damn it. Here it is. Mr. Boricua, I will credit you because you probably counted it out just to make sure that I would be the one that reads this. So I will respect your game. So $5 for Mr. Boricua 10. Damn it. For Josie and Annie, I relish in the fact that I'm the least appreciated super chat. I don't even know what accent I'm doing anymore. I give it my life and liberty. I can't do it. I can't. Damn it.
I just need some chatter out there
I'm dying.
to collect
That's
every
so funny.
instance of Josie doing one of these Mr. Boricua chats and compile it. So funny.
Yes.
I swear to God, you
We
guys
need- we
better
need,
donate
like-
to my campaign.
we need like a TACIS award show and have like the best at reading Mr. Boricua's super chats.
Yes, and I would get the worst
Oh
award.
my god, that would be a great award. Wait,
It would be a
low-key.
good award.
I'm gonna write
Yeah,
that note down.
it would actually be. Yeah.
We do need to do like
Okay,
a
that
mini
was
award show.
stupid. Yeah.
$4.99 from
That'd be fun.
JW Edgy. Vote Team Josie for City Council in Maryland. Hashtag Team Ben. Oh, this is again the trend. It's the trend. You know, the trend where people would congratulate me and then vote for the other person. Well, now they're doing it to
Yeah.
Josie. So there you go.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm
Payback.
already planning these arguments. Don't worry.
I love this. I love this next one. Yes.
5 pounds from Jessica Duty Butt Face. Never heard of Labubu, but Labubu is still better than Espion. Hashtag Team Pity Vote for Josie. I'll take the pity votes.
Honestly, I accept this. Labubu can be better than it. Labubu is the best Pokemon. Labubu is the most powerful
Yeah,
Pokemon.
Labubu is the most powerful Pokemon, don't you know?
But doesn't Labubu actually kill the other Pokemon though? Like
Yeah.
like there's no knockout. It's always death.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a Pokemon card for Labubu. I'm gonna do this.
Oh my god. Amazing. Well, that is the last super chat, and it seems that Josie has officially lost. So let me
Lost
set
to
up our
Labubu.
little debate
Labubu.
platform here. Host right is the winner, and host left is the big loser. Sorry, Josie, I love you.
I know, it's fine. I deserve it. It's fine.
They just want to hear you talk. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
They want to hear
Yeah.
Josie talk more.
Oh
That's
wait, it's
true.
gonna be make bathrooms their own states. Okay, we are set to go. Are you ready to defend your position, Josie?
Oh yes.
Hello. Hi. Not a good time.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I just had somebody walk in the room. All right. Let's charge up that clock for you in 3, 2, 1, go.
So make bathrooms their own states. This is a no-brainer because if we had so many bathrooms and then we would have that many senators. Hear me out. So we all know that women take care of their bathrooms more than men bathrooms. So therefore we would have a stronger block of better senators in these states. Texas, well, you just made bathroom laws, so now they are all their sovereign nations. So now we're going to get that many senators in the Senate for the U.S. Senate. And you know what? Let's go ahead and let's make the bathroom states as well. Take them and add them to the Texas Senate too. So really, all you did was screw things up because now we can pack the Senate in a way that actually makes sense. So we would have sovereign territory, so that way we could succeed from Texas. So all those bathrooms, they're all now sovereign land on their own way. So you don't like Texas? Go to the bathroom. You're out. You left. It's no longer part of Texas territory. It is its own place. So obviously, since we need more senators, we can have the nation of bathrooms outnumber the US Senate, and then we can actually get some real work done in the country. Come on. Wouldn't you want to see elections that are, I am going to run for the Senate of the Denny's bathroom, right? I mean, think about how hard that campaign would be to win. But if you did, you get to be the representative of the Denny's bathroom off of I-20. All right. That sounds like a really prestigious title. I will call you senator. And that is why we should have bathrooms be their own states.
Beautiful.
I want to be the senator of the Waffle House bathroom, and we can, duke it out on the Senate floor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
how deep the structure is going to be of these. Like, do we have a governor? Like, is there an AG for the bathroom? Or is there? Do the male and female bathrooms have their own structures?
It's kind of like, big states versus like small states have more representatives than the small states. They only have like one. So like an airport bathroom, they probably have a governor. I mean, you would probably need one.
Sure.
Because of
Yeah.
the fact.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's
The
probably
Dollar
what
Tree
it would be for
bathroom-
sure.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree bathroom is just anarchy. Nobody runs that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of its own little fiefdom. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just how it goes.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that word. Fiefdom.
Yeah,
Fiefdom.
fiefdom.
That's
It's always
good.
fun. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think we do. Okay, so I would like us to end this.
Do we need to
close
vibe for 10
fi-
minutes?
Yeah, I think we need to vamp
We need-
around because we've got
Vamp?
I want to dump you guys at 5 into the new chat. So we're just gonna hang.
Okay.
We're just gonna hang.
Just
and
gonna hang
chat,
out.
We can hang.
Yeah. So while we hang here, if you haven't gone to josieformaryland.com and donated, please do that, because these little contributions that come in from these shows on TACIS actually help keep the campaign running strong. People are like, how is Josie's campaign so nationalized? Well, it's because of TACIS. Duh. So help it continue to be nationalized and go to josieformaryland.com and donate. It's really easy, and it goes a long, long way. You don't have to live in Maryland to give. So please do. Please give.
Hell yeah.
It's really exciting every time I see them come in. And in fact, since we're vamping, I will have my little donation window up. And so that way I can see what's coming in and say, you guys are doing it. Anyways.
Ooh, yeah. Do
And
a
while we're
donation drive
vamping-
while we're sitting here, yeah. Go for it, Ben.
Well, yeah, and while we're vamping as well, Holy Spirits has a new episode premiering on Saturday. So if you want to watch atheist content creators get drunk and tell Bible stories, that is a show you can watch as well on Saturday.
Are you on that?
Oh,
Are
I
you
run
on
it.
that?
It's my new channel. I'm not on this upcoming episode, but I will be the episode after that. So, but it is my new project, and I absolutely love it. It's hilarious, and I'll tell more news if you go to the premiere chat there, because some special stuff. But definitely go watch Holy Spirits this Saturday. It's hilarious.
Hell yeah.
That
Can
sounds
we
hilarious.
get a link in? Do you have? Oh,
Oh,
I
it's
think
already in chat.
Clecia put. Well, they put the link to your channel, Ben. Is it a different channel altogether?
Oh, I can put it. It's a different channel. Yeah, let me.
I
grab
think
it.
you're a mod
Oh,
in
okay.
chat, so you should be able to post it.
Yeah, I should. Hold on, let me find it.
Impish Misconception said, "What show is this? How did you get here? I know you've called before.
Yeah.
You know
How
what show
did
this
you-
is. Are you drunk right
You
now?"
know what shoe this is.
Legally Mod sent another $5 saying, "I know she lost, but I have to keep this gag alive. Congratulations, Ben. Hashtag Team Josie."
Yeah, absolutely.
Is
It-
Gavin
and,
Newsom
I'll put the link in
cool?
the side chat.
I don't know if he's cool,
Is
but
Gavin
he's definitely
Newsom
fuckable.
cool?
I mean, what? I didn't say that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Anyways, I feel like I've seen it. I've seen the charisma up close. You know what's really interesting? I have his phone number. Because I've known him since he's been a lieutenant governor. And so when I started the College Democrats of San Diego State University, I actually held a roundtable for him. So he actually came to the school. So I had to get in contact with him to actually, do the thing for us to host him. But yeah, I've seen the Riz up close. It's very real. It's
I'm
very
curious,
real.
Josie, since you've seen him up close and had his like
Yeah.
in my perception, he kind of accrued a a reputation as being a mega progressive, even though he wasn't really in policy that crazy progressive. And he's
Yeah.
kind of besmirching that reputation now because of his podcast stuff. Like, do you feel like he's always been the way he is now, or do you think he used to be genuinely like a little bit more progressive and he's just trying to couch himself a win?
Well, remember, he was the mayor of San Francisco before he was lieutenant governor. So he has gotten less progressive as time went on than when he used to be. So that is very true. I think that if there's anything to be said, I think that he is a politician, and he's gonna be a liberal, like, moderate type of president. So it's like we're not going to get everything from him, but I will say he is somebody who tries things, and that's important. Because right now we have a Democratic leadership that's literally afraid to do anything. Like, he had Charlie Kirk on his show and all that type of stuff, and he obviously saw that didn't work, and he pivoted to start mocking Donald Trump, and now he's actually doing really well by doing that. So, like, the fact that he's just like firing different things and shooting to see what sticks, I think is important. I
Sure.
don't know if it's going to have the lasting power to be the president, but I do think that there's something to be said about the fact that he's at least has the courage to do something. And so that's kind of the way that I think about him as a person. But I mean, anything's better than a Republican at this point. But I will say, though, it's still too early to say. But
For
if he
sure.
keeps the trajectory, he's going to have more normal, just people who are outside of the political atmosphere kind of zooming into him. So we have to realize that out of any Democratic politician, he has the most successful podcast. He has the most name recognition, I think, out of most Democrats. So he is doing something right when it comes to winning an election. Now, does the ability to win an election actually make you good? No, look at Donald Trump. But the fact is, we still do need to win an election. So it's
Yeah.
still too early to say. I'm not throwing my support behind anybody at
For
this
sure.
moment.
I think it's
And
just interesting
yeah.
that, like, we did a poll recently about our chat being like, oh, is it okay to not support people like Gavin Newsom or whatever? And people were basically taking it as if we're saying, if he is the nominee, that we wouldn't vote for him, which is not what anyone said. Like you're saying, and like a chatter is saying, like, even despite like brutalizing homeless people and destroying homeless encampments and like all the ways that he actually sucks as a as a politician, he's still going to be the best option if he is even if he has shitty trans positions. He is still going to be one of our best options against, Donald Trump. And if that is the case, I will vote for him. But it doesn't mean we can't right now. Like, this is why people should be talking about this right now, because hopefully we can get him to course correct, like you're saying, to try some new things so that when it's time, he is much better positioned.
Absolutely. And not to change the topic, we've already gotten 3 donations to the campaign for myself.
Hell
And
yeah.
somebody was asking, what race am I running for? I'm running for Montgomery County Council at large, for the whole county, which is next door to DC. And one of the things that we've been saying is, let's make a trans Latina veteran Trump's next door neighbor. Like, honestly, he would blow his. I'm his worst nightmare. I'm Latina. I'm trans. I'm a woman. I'm a veteran. Like, everything he like wakes up in a cold sweat about, I am that person. So put me right there next to him, right across the street. Like, that's what he would not be able to think straight, knowing that in Montgomery County, right next door, there's a trans woman leading. So make that happen. Make it happen. So we already got one from Arizona, Texas, and New Jersey. Let's keep it up, everybody.
All right. I think
Josie
we
for
probably are
Maryland.com.
safe to start wrapping up.
And Wisconsin.
Ben, you look like you're about to say
Yes.
something. I want to give you a chance before we roll us out.
I got nothing to say. Josie from Maryland.
Yay! Yes.
Yay.
Yes. It's so good. No, it's so good. My campaign manager says that I spend a lot of time doing TACIS, and I'm like, well, yeah. Why would I not? There's donations that come in, and he's like, you know what? You're right. So let's make sure that he keeps me from not leaving TACIS. Okay. He was like, we need to do other things. I'm like, no, TACIS is important. Show me so I can show him that TACIS is important, and I need to continue to do this as much as possible. All right.
Yeah. Also, I think
Donate.
it's so important for like, you know, if we can get like, if you have people who have questions who are potentially your constituents, you can be like, there's literally a space I've carved out like multiple times per month where you can call and speak to you directly. Like there's no filtering or anything. Like, yeah, that's something that almost no other politician is doing, which I think could be seen as a huge advantage. Anyway, Ben, any last thoughts you want to give before we wrap up and roll the audience out?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. I'm all good.
Stick around, chat. Once the show ends, you're going to be automatically put into Call It Now, our new vertical stream over on Jimmy's channel, but it is a part of the line. It just helps the algorithm to have it on a different channel. So go there, and we love you guys. And also subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/calltheline.
Do it.
You get access to ad-free early episodes of the podcast. You get access to our monthly Q&A Zoom meeting. You get access to our new mini conventions that we're doing every single month, LineCon Online Live. I think that's how it's
Yeah, I think you did it.
Yeah.
Tune in. Do it. Do
Thank
it now.
you guys.
You won't regret it.
And go to the other show. Bye.